Anyway, I am glad you guys are here. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday. No, not yet. Saturday afternoon here. So we are getting a little bit warmer for September here. And let me come up to this one so I can see any chats. Oh, there we go. You guys are here. It's beautiful Sunday. Let's close that so you don't get an echo from 30 seconds ago. And hello, Shunter and Radomir and Foxy. How are you guys doing this afternoon? I will start with our normal recap. Let's play time normal speed just until a few people can get in, because Lord knows I don't know. I guess it's a matter of opinion whether we get a lot done, but certainly for being on fast forward for 3 hours, sometimes I feel like we don't get a ton done on a Saturday afternoon, but here we are. And just to remind you guys what we were doing, I'd spent a few minutes before the stream looking. I think we wanted to get another construction zone out here eventually so that we could get the farms leveled in. The construction site could also help us with we have a food factory here, and this whole mess is a livestock farm. And then a hall here. And then somewhere in this neighborhood we have... Yeah, there it is, the slaughterhouse. So I think this is a bus stop for everybody to be able to get up here. And then didn't we have another one up this way? Yes, right over here. There we go. And then we have more livestock farms over this way. And I think that that's sort of a secondary plan, I guess you could call it. Like once we get this one going, then we can talk about whether we want to get that one going. But this should be plenty enough, more than enough meat, I would think, for our people. And yep, corn, so we can bring corn down from our farms, and then there's another corn silo here to distribute it to where it needs to go there. This is power coming over to here, so we have to get that built. Hello, Steve and Dennis. Welcome, guys. Nanad, welcome. And Off the Rails and Mike, thank you guys for being here today. Glad you could make it. As far as that goes, I did check, and at one point I had a suggestion this week to suspend the constructions that they were getting people going into them. And I think it's because if you have someone who's auto searching, even if they don't have a bus, it's still like an assigned job and people will go there. But it seems to be that if it's not assigned to anybody, that it's not going to get workers. So I was worried about that when I first came in. Like, we don't really have enough people as it is, one of our bigger problems here. But I did look at our coal, but could we get more steel workers, in other words, if we did that? Now, one of the things at this point that I'm noticing is that we're like full of coal, and we have 5 workers at this moment, which isn't very many, and only 5 workers at our steel mill. So it might be the case that we want to cut down on the number of people ultimately that are coming up here if we see this. Now, this isn't completely full, but if we're getting 14 workers here and only 5 over here, then that's not such a good thing. So we should probably keep an eye on that as the afternoon goes along and try to make sure, if anything, well, I don't know. I guess whatever we do, we're not going to have too many workers here, but I would tend to want to have us be using most of the coal, because we could still purchase coal, right? As opposed to these people sitting here doing nothing, which is a possibility. Like right now, these 5 aren't really doing what they could. Why don't we just take down... Yeah, why don't we just say we only want 3 there? I wonder if that'll just sort of force some people... We already turned this down greatly. Let's turn this down to like 30 and just see. Not that I've ever seen 30 people working. Well, no, we do get quite a few over there at our oil plants. I can't say I've never seen us get 30 at that point. Hello, Radomir. Welcome again. You faked me out by saying it again. But Red Fox. I didn't say hello to Red Fox. Welcome. So, having said that, I think we were deciding at the end of the last episode what we should work on next. If you guys have an opinion, obviously we can get our iron going over here, which will have a pretty good financial benefit. I will definitely, I think at some point, spend some more money on purchasing steel if we need to for the projects. Like I like the fact that we're finally back over 100,000. Not in a huge rush. I mean, if we ever need some trucks or something, I don't know if we'll just move this construction crew over to that one when it gets done to help us out there, or do we buy more trucks? But we also have our coal area up here, and we have a brick plant, and we could talk about maybe prefabs and or a cement plant off of this. But also, probably in the beginning here, why don't we take a look? And you know what? There's enough of us here, and we've kind of waited long enough for others. Why don't we go into fast forward mode? I don't think there's anything drastic going to happen, but I think we could also, maybe even more than those other industries, talk about power. And because, let's take a look at the economy. Let's just do last month and see what we are importing. Exporting shouldn't surprise anyone who's followed it. We are exporting oil with all of our oil tankers going back and forth at an amazing clip. Power, 7,000. Food, 9,000. A little under 4,000 for our clothes and electronics and meat. Seems to be pretty even on the cost for us last month. Very little alcohol. And I don't know, did we cut that off altogether? I think it would have been... Nah, we're still purchasing alcohol here for some reason. I don't know if you guys have a vote on whether we should even continue to do that. It's not a huge amount of money, of course, but... And then we did purchase in a fair amount of iron and coal. So this coal number was, I think, down some because we got the coal thing going, but 8,000 on the iron. So if we got the iron going, it would be worth as much as doing the power. Yeah, if we look right now, which is only, well, halfway through the month, it's a good amount. The highest expense so far is going to be this iron here at 5,700 and climbing. Our power is at 3,900. So as we do ramp up the production over there, like right now, and again, it depends on how you like to play the game. There's always the let's go for the best thing to export and make loads of money, or there's the self-sufficiency route, I think, or I guess you could do any combination in between. Let's see. Let's use the power of math. How much coal per worker do you get, and how much production of coal refinery? How much can steel mill consume? Well, the steel mill could consume like the production of, like it could do 375 coal per day, and this does like 210. So in theory, it could do twice as much. Let's just, for round numbers sake, you can use 2 coal ore processing plants fully running, pretty darn close, to do 1 steel mill. And then I think the same is true for the iron, though we'll have to probably go to the building called iron. Iron ore processing does 225, so it's pretty much the same thing. You would, now, by the way, that's also one other big assumption there is we are at 55% of our coal mine, and a coal mine could do 4.2. So but you're asking me to do math, Radomir. 4.2 coal per worker. So if you think about that, the maximum number of workers would be 220 here. So you could do up to, say, 800 and some, maybe even close to 900. So this one coal mine, if it was a 100% coal mine, which we're only a 50% coal mine, so our coal mine could put out about 400 coal per day if it was fully blasted. So the most coal that we would need would be, like, say, so that's the problem. The problem isn't that we need to worry about the maxing here. The problem is how many workers are we going to get to the steel mill after all of that math? See, I mathed a little bit for the sake of mathing, but the fact is that So for each one of these workers, like it doesn't really break it down. I guess it's pretty linear, but you would say you really would probably need half as many workers here. So if we could get 60 workers here, 30 would make sense here, right? Because you need, and then if we just let this go down to half the processing. So the real hope is that we can get, there we go. So like we're up to 28 right now. And I don't know. I don't know how much I like to worry about all of that stuff. Like, not to say we shouldn't pay it attention when we're in this critical don't have enough people thing. But at the same time, I think the bigger question is what should we work on next? Should we think we should keep plowing towards this as our main priority? Of course, I don't mind the idea of getting, this wouldn't take long to get that done. At least it'll give us something to work on while we're waiting for the iron to get, or would we rather come over here and work on power? And that's not to say that's not a valid thing, Radomir, either. So it is. I think cutting that down to 30 seems pretty reasonable, up to the point we can get 60 people in here and we have 2. So now the other thing to maybe look at, 223 unemployed, and I'm assuming that that's other people from around the map that aren't in our town. So we really don't have too many unemployed, and I'm really curious. I'm hoping we're getting past this production, these workers not growing the numbers. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying, Radomir. I got your next comment there about the ideal ratio. Yeah, I would say it's 2 to 1. You want 2 workers here for every 1 here. And then this is just, it's not a significant number of workers in a sense to really worry about. Like, we've got it down to 3 now. So, not that we have many workers to deal with anyhow. We'll keep this down at, we could probably go lower. I mean, we're still keeping up with the coal. The problem is as soon as we get more over there, we'll need more. There we go. Why don't we max it out at 15? And I'm assuming that'll force some more of them to come over here. We shouldn't be doing much of any construction until we sign another construction. Do you guys have a vote? Because here's my vote. You don't have to vote if you're going to vote for getting our iron going, right? Even though it'll cost us some steel. And I'm not in a huge hurry because we don't really have enough money to build it, and we don't have enough steel to build it. So let's see, how much do we have over here? Yeah, very little, I can tell. Zoom in a little extra. So we only have 39, and we're not bringing any more over here. Like you can see, there's no vehicles listed to come over to this store. Well, I guess they might come over here. But I think let me make sure I'm right about that. Do we have 2 trucks sitting here? All related vehicles. That one's waiting. That's the bus. Yeah, that's that one. They keep jumping around on me. There we go. No, it is going over there. The Nodton Road Cargo Station 3. So I don't think that's a bad thing to send some of the steel over there. But no, you know what? That's right. This guy is sitting in the depot. That's right. I thought I took him off there. So that's a little, well, I guess it makes sense. So this guy is just sitting in the depot while we bring steel over to here. So all of our steel should be coming to here. All right, let's, like I said, we're not, I don't want to say we're in a holding pattern, but look, we got 1 person in our steel mill. So at some point, as our money goes up, I'm definitely willing to turn the purchase of steel back on. And I think the thing that doing this iron will give us is just more money, right? It's not going to make us more steel, but we're sort of waiting for all our people to get in here as it is. We got our university. How is that doing? It seems okay. not too many students, but I guess we don't really need that many. Now, do we have no staff? Yeah, we're just low on. I don't see adult students, so that's, these are all still little kids, which is good. Yeah, and anybody in here, we don't need a ton of them. And then don't forget, this one's functioning very well, so we're not in any kind of an education issue at that point. We got plenty of people. Now, let's see. Last time I looked, yeah, see, this went right back down. We started at 1208, and we went up to 1211. Excuse me, and now we're back down again. I don't know. I really honestly don't know anything else we could do. I mean, we have our hospital. It's functioning. We have 2 hospitals. We have plenty of housing. I think we need more electronics for them. And what do we have? This one's on hold, I guess, just for the sake of steel. Yeah, nobody's assigned to this. All right, no one lives there. Again, the theory is, are they better, or the question is, are they better off jammed up? Now, another thing before people move in, can they get everywhere? Well, they can't get to the university from here, which I'm kind of okay with. It's not really going to affect us. Like, nobody lives here, so it's definitely not going to affect us. Now, how about this one? Can they get to... No, they can't get to the university either. What we could probably do... Let's go and see about getting a footpath. I bet you this... Yeah, there's no reason we wouldn't do that. And then, yeah, let's just get our guy doing footpath, because he can. Yeah, I think that'll help. I'm not sure that it's that much difference walking around here, but that's definitely closer. Does it count it to the middle, or does it count it to where they actually walk? Like, it seems to count the actual distance that they walk, but I haven't really thought about it too much, because most of the buildings aren't, like, these aren't so big that you would worry. Like, in other words, does it count the entrance, or does it count to the center of the building? I would think it counts the whole distance they walk. Anyway, we sent a construction crew to take care of it, assuming they have everything they need. And then these trucks, yeah, see, we're restocking on gravel and such. There's no trucks coming in here. They should have all been, yeah, put them over here so they can, once they do fill up, they can wait. So we're not in a huge hurry to actually click on the construct button. It's just a matter of being on hard mode and low money. Yeah, you know what, Steve? I did not list that amongst our things. Now, at some point here, it's kind of crazy with all of the trucks. Let's see what we're doing. Yeah, we're definitely not, well, now we're running out of fuel capacity. Yeah, so definitely, I mean, improving this is good to a certain point, but I think we're still going to kind of hit a limit unless we have 47 more trucks. Really, when you think about it, we could take, if we would build these first to get the oil brought in here directly, that you could definitely make the argument that we would then free up all these trucks. It wouldn't cost us anything extra. We wouldn't have to buy a bunch more trucks. And we could take those extra trucks and send them to the border, right? We could start using them for other tasks. So that's really not a bad idea. It counts the entrance. Yeah, that would make sense off the rails. Yeah, getting rail export started. Yeah, it's all, I wouldn't want to do, that's why all of those things you suggested too are part of the reason for getting the iron done in my mind. Like, because we are paying, the biggest expense that we have every month is, well, potentially, if we're using and making, and especially as we ramp this iron up, if I were to go to the right page, So this month is June 22nd. And yeah, pretty much food is a pretty big expense too, but we're also working on that, right? So, you know, it's our big expense, you know, at this point, pretty much neck and neck would either be food or the iron. And the iron, again, remember, lets us do everything else more cheaply if we can get this ramped up fully. Labor, I don't think prefabs, well, here we can check, but prefabs aren't very labor intensive. Let's see. Maximum number of workers 65, so nothing crazy. We might consider putting in a few more houses over here if we built prefabs. And really, I think the big thing about doing that is it's just the cost of the cement plant, I think, is, and the prefab plant itself. So it's, you know, I'd like to my vote is, and we're not in a massive hurry. We still haven't gotten, well, we got another truckload out here, but I think I remember saying something like we'll need 300 or so steel to get this going. So whether we use money to do it or whether we use steel to do it is fine, but that will cut down on a big expense, and we're ready to do it. And not that we would ever export the steel, but it's, when we talk about all these other things, it's steel. And now again, the other problem is we're not making a ton of it. Hey, ThunderX, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We are just trying to decide what we should do next. And I'm hemming and hawing, not because I want to hem and haul, but because we really don't have enough money to do much of anything drastic at this point. So while we build up our money and our steel a little bit, we're sort of in this laggy period of the game, I guess you could call it. We are paving roads and whatnot. This guy is set, I'm not sure if I mentioned that or reminded everybody, but this guy is set to auto do footpaths and roads. So while we are hemming and hauling, it's not that we're not getting all what we can up here completed, as you guys can maybe see. We are paving some roads and getting ready to build all this stuff. ThunderX, I'd appreciate it if you don't sell things on the channel like that without having talked to me first. I don't even know what you're talking about, but, you know, I would just appreciate you not trying to sell things and asking people their age. So, in any event. So what do you think of that, Steve? Do we, yeah, I would definitely like to get this going. And yeah, getting the exports down here going. Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean, ThunderX, but I don't really know who you are. I've not seen you on the channel before. And, you know, I don't know if anybody wants to buy your stuff, but okay. And it doesn't matter to me how old you are too much, but, you know, I'm not sure if you're just here to sell your stuff or watch the stream, but either way. So, yeah, getting this done could be an intermediary task, but again, a lot of this, let's see, does it tell us if we come to pipes? It's been a while since yeah, cost of construction, so to do just the pipes portion of this would be 227 steel, right? So that's a good amount of steel to get those pipes done, to free up these trucks, to get them running up to the border. And then the other thing I was wondering about is yeah, see, I think we might be able to take off, let's take off a bitumen truck on its way back. I think it's best to try to catch one of them up here, or go up to Molna and click on that's a fuel truck. Like, get them on their way back. There's a bitumen truck. So why don't we switch this guy we'll switch this guy over to fuel. I'll just put him on anything. Right, so we'll take a little bit more fuel than bitumen. Now, I'm not sure. There could be like a timing issue where I don't want to jump back and forth too much. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's worth it. I'm dreading that, Mike. Not because your comment's not the smartest one. It's like, you know, because I didn't destroy all the houses because I just, at some point, like I did it here and then I didn't do it here. So now you're talking about like clicking again on every single house on the map. You know, now I know we can, oh, there is something else I wanted to check. Dennis and I were talking about it. Can you, okay. If you ever bury your town name, like by that I mean if you're leveling an area and you can't rename your town, you can click on here and then rename it, even though you can't click on it on the map. So sorry, that was... So the other thing I don't like is that it's very difficult to see what... Like, I don't know how accurate this is. Sometimes it seems like it's not as accurate as it should be, especially with these towns. But yeah, I mean, I guess as opposed to doing anything else... Oh, there's one. And then I should probably just consider destroying all these, huh? I mean, I don't know that we would... I mean, I don't know. I sort of hate to destroy them, but at the same time... There we are. Well, we are getting a few more. Now, the other thing, too, is these people that we're bringing over, I think, are part of the reason that our ages... I wasn't in a real hurry to do this because I think that's... These are the people that are dying. Like, for example, this person... Come on. Why won't you stay on there? Is 54. So they're not going to have any kids, and they're just going to die. And it's going to make it look like our population isn't growing normally. But it very well could be. It's just that that person's dying and throwing off our stats. So if I had to bet money, knowing me... I would bet that I didn't click on all these little houses. Yeah, I don't doubt that with the farm and all that. It's going to cost us more money to do if we don't build the iron first. It'll slow us down, I think, more in the long run. I don't know if you're suggesting skipping doing the iron. There's another one. Yeah, so this is going to be painful as heck trying to find hundreds of people around the map. We need a Hoover or some, like, at least some tool to tell us where people are living. Hey, John, welcome. Yeah, so let's come over here. We'll put them in one of these houses. Yeah, all in all, I don't think there's too many people on the map at all anyway that aren't in our little community. Now, I would assume all these people are just normal Soviet citizens. They're not... I don't think they would have to go to school. Yeah, I mean, they all have their ABCs, it seems like. And how's our... Yeah, see, we're up to 216, so... That's up 8 from when we started. It's not overly impressive. Yeah, I mean, I kind of hate to destroy them. I mean, one of the rules of the map is that we would take over, you know, that we would take over the towns, but not necessarily have to use all the buildings. Now, the other thing, if this was dead accurate, Yeah, well, we got this down to 9, and that's probably about the number I just moved. Like, one of the things I could do, at least until I could just keep filling up the screen and hitting escape, right? Yeah, see, once I get one in here, I hate to close it again by accident. Yeah, that's that one. Oh, there we go, a couple more. See, I know myself. I didn't want to click on all these houses. There you go. There's 3 more of them over here. 4 more of them. 5. Ooh. 6. Didn't I open up all those over there? Did I miss one of the bigger houses, I bet? Which I did. Nope. All right, please don't close. Good, that went reasonably well. Yeah, there must be some other, well, like I said, I have my skepticism about, did I miss some of these? All right, well, that's a lot better than, yeah, well, let's just get these people over there. That'll be a little bit of a boost for a little while anyway. Oh, that's right. I got all happy about more people, but I did move more in. All right, so let's assign this guy, this guy, to get this other construction office done. Oh, he didn't do the road. Oh, because that guy can't do the road. Okay, well, at least have him get these 2 roads done. How's that sound? Yeah, we really probably need this other guy to do these shorter roads, because when you don't need a mechanism, the other guy can't work on them. Yeah, see that's holding that other guy up. So good. That at least gives him something to do for a few minutes. Yep. So let's go back there now that we got. Let's just go look here. Do we have Verall? Nobody's in Verall. Where's Strakov? Must be close. Ah, we still didn't get everybody out of here. Yeah, you know what? Let's try this. So we can't do any of the ones, so I think it'd be quicker to do this, right? Like, and then we'll know who's left. All right, we'd have to demolish them anyway, even if we opened them. Okay, so let's just take all of these people over. Yeah, I think that's sort of a better way to go. I don't know if it was that much quicker, but we can destroy that one. Yeah, so if we open up any more now, and then I'll just destroy them when we get back over there. Yep, I think I got them all. Where are we at? So we got 35. Yeah, so Mike, while I liked your suggestion here, I didn't like your suggestion in another sense, right? Yeah, let's put a couple people in here. Just because I'm getting bored with putting them in the other one. Yeah, I'll read your comments in a second when I get done my super ninja moving people focus. I'm not a musician, so my ability to do things repeatedly like that is a bit limited. Yeah, so we got 6 people in there. How is our steel mill doing? 1 person. Okay, well, and we're full of coal. Yeah, the trolley buses are like electric buses there, John. Yes, the waypoints are relatively new, and that is very useful at times. It certainly opens up some possibilities. I think even in tomorrow's video, you'll see a spur of the moment clearing up a potential problem, preventing it, I hope, from ever happening again, kind of thing. So, all right, so there we go. So we got more people over. What is our... Well, this population here does include the people from around the world, so just because we moved them over here doesn't mean they don't count, right? We would have to look at this, I guess, to get an idea of... So we have... Well, we know there's some more people back over there that we could get. Yes, we have 484 here, and we have... 768. Or, I'm sorry, 1,768. So I'm just doing some mathematics again for the second time this video. I'll have you know. So that's 2,252 total. So if we were to look at this, so there's another... there's about 90 people or so spread out around the map that we could gather up. Which, you know, that's 90 people we don't have. It's just such a mind-numbingly boring thing. At least for me. I guess some people may enjoy that, but how about over here? So I guess we should open this up. It's not even registering that as a town, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. There's 8 of them in here. All right, so let's go back to our destroying method. I guess I want to make sure I don't destroy the church, huh? Oops. Tried to hit the escape button. It's not the best way to do this. Yeah, I think this is at least a little bit faster, tiny bit less button clicking. And if nothing else, yeah, let's not destroy the church. Okay. I think that's... It said 8. Oh, okay, there's 2 in this house. I was going to say, we don't have enough houses. Let's see. So this is a chance to check if this is accurate. So what does this say? 8. Am I missing one? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I got 5 open. So this has got 1 in it. 2. I'll just shrink each one. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go dump these people off, and then we'll see. We'll see if there's any houses left when I'm done. Because it's just wrong, right? So like when I'm using that mathematics to figure out if there's any other people around the map, it could just be wrong, right? For some reason, or I mean, I don't doubt that there's a reason, but it seems like something's off. But since this is such a little one, we can nope, there's nobody in there. Yeah, I don't think I missed any houses. Now let's see, does it? No, population 0. I don't know. Did I look at the number of houses and not the... I don't know. And what are you? Oh, look. Yeah, see, that's... I must have deleted the church here. Well, I guess we could always know that there was a town here if we wanted to start a town here. Yeah, I guess there could have been children. Yep, that's another possibility. Good thought, Radomir. Definitely. Yeah, definitely that's a possibility. Oh, wait, you know what? Before we destroy this whole town, is there... No, there's nobody here, so I'm not going to destroy the town. Oh, if we go over here, Tritrov. Okay, so there's a few in Tritrov. Yeah. Yeah, see, there was a definite lazy point I remember where I said where I didn't feel like deleting all the houses. Not that I didn't feel like going into all the little houses. And okay, so there's some people there. So how many did it say? There's 1. Population 26. So is it counting? Okay, we probably never came over here to get people, did we? Okay, you know what? These, I think I'm just going to open because I think there's going to be a fair number. We'll just delete them the old-fashioned way with the dynamite. You know, like that. Yeah, what am I doing? Now I'm just, see, that's why I'm not a musician, right there. Clicking the wrong thing. Don't demolish that one either. I can only do one task at a time. Yeah, I think I got all of them. That's the church. We don't want to delete that. Yeah, that one's already opened. No, see, I keep doing that. It's because like every other house I click on. Okay, I think that's all of them there. Oh, there we go. There's this little town. I never even noticed that one. Because every town, I assume, has a church, right? See, I did it again. All right, then we're going to have enough windows open here to slow the game down to a crawl, so we'll... Okay. I'm not sure if that was worth it, but... Well, the whole overall it was worth it, that last little bit. Yeah, I think I'll start putting them in this one, because why not, even though they can't get educated. Yeah, so after you destroy it, it doesn't always get rid of that symbol, like the move people symbol. Yeah, and I honestly think this is what's throwing off our population and not understanding. I think we may be growing, but we're just losing them faster because we just moved in a bunch of like 50-year-olds. But then again, you could argue that it's the same proportion of the population. But then again, these people aren't going to be as happy after being relocated. So that's another possibility, that people have to be happy for a period of time. So there we go. So we got 31 in that house. It's certainly not going to hurt us. And our money is going up nicely. And we're getting these roads done. So let's see. Yeah, good. So that should free them up. Well, we're getting most of the roads done. This one could be done, I think. We didn't really need to do that little stretch. Yeah, let's get them working on that construction office. And then, since the vote's not overwhelming, and I know it's going to save us a bunch of money, and we just ramped up our people even more, I'm going to have them start working on this iron mine. And then as soon as we're done that, like I said, it's not going to necessarily get us more steel. Look, now we have 2 workers after all of that work. Now the other question is, could we get another bus going? How many buses do we have? We only have 1 bus. And, you know, while we don't have... Yeah, see, there's a moment here where another bus could throw itself in the mix, and I don't want to starve everybody else of workers, but why don't we put another bus on here just for the sake... Well, you know what? We have this little guy. You know what? It's not far from ideal, but... Right? Why not? I mean, he's not going to hurt us. Yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't know if you guys caught it during the regular episode. There was a suggestion throughout the week. I'm sorry, I forgot who left it, but to get more construction offices going. On the regular map, I have 14 pretty much, 13 like full regular construction offices plus 1 that's sort of a partial, just give some extra supplies. So You know, with 14 construction offices, depending on what they're working on, you can cut through a lot of steel. It's not that we're not making steel. It's just, and say, here we go. We're also getting close to this. Now, one of the reasons, by the way, oh, look, we're full. Oh, yeah, look, we're full. We're starting to build up steel here. So what is this guy doing? Oh, he's sitting in here under the cover, and I can't see him because he's, yep, there he is, hiding from me down underneath of there. Okay, well, good. So that's, because this isn't that much steel, I don't think. 74 tons of steel. I mean, it's a good chunk, but then really this is the big one, 200. And then you have a decent amount for the conveyors and whatnot, and the mechanisms. Yeah, this has got like two of those. Now, the other thing I don't think we have up here, what is this? Oh, yeah. Substation. We would want one of those. Yeah. This one. Come on, electrical. There it is. Source of workers is empty. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what to say about source of workers is empty. Now, how are we doing here? So we only have, oh, look, we're out of coal. Are we out of coal? Out of coal? No. We're just good, though. That's a good sign that at least we're no longer sending too many people up here. So I think it didn't hurt to cut that down. As long as, you know, we don't want to end up paying for the coal too much, as long as this one stays full. But there we go. Look, we have 8 people making steel now. Not that that's something to party about, but at least it's better than 2 every other time I've looked. And that extra little bus is probably not going to hurt us keeping, yeah, see, look, now we're up to 19. Good. And how is our population doing? Even though this is, yeah, see now, I don't know. I think you could stare at something a little bit too much. Yeah, see, we're just stagnant. I mean, that's for this year. I don't know how well you guys can, oh, that's for this month. This year, we just can't get over 2,400 for some reason. Or when we do, we just pop right down below it. Now, look, this whole year, we've just pretty much been... Now, this isn't the workers. Yeah, look, now all of a sudden we went down. We just dropped off even further. But I don't doubt that that's because we brought in... I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. I want to stop thinking about it and just hope that the number goes up. Unless you guys have a suggestion on how we can force that number to go up. I mean, everybody should be... Yeah, see, these people aren't terribly happy, but... Yeah, oh, you know what? Yeah, where is our kindergarten? Well, you should be able to get to the kindergarten, can't you? Yeah, you can get there. So you're just too lazy to take your kid to kindergarten and decide not to go to work? Is that what it is? But they're probably catching up on all their other... No pub. Yeah, we know about that. No church. We can't do anything about that. Yeah, so even though they're not terribly happy, it's not our fault. They'll get happier. Like these people, yeah, they're catching up. It's just because we relocated them. So that could be a factor. I mean, do they have to stay happy for... Or here's another question. Like, I mean, the question about the pub and making babies... Could we make more babies if they, like, why aren't these people 100% happy? Because they can't visit the hospital. We'll go to the hospital. Oh, is it too far away? Yeah, you know what? Our hospital's really, is really kind of too far away for people, isn't it? Well, you know what? Eventually we would want to expand our population anyhow. And we have the ambulance, which I'm assuming can go up there and get people throughout the town. I don't really know that. Does it? Oh, yeah, no. I'm assuming that's what that is. That red is the ambulance coverage. But do people need to just go to the hospital, like, on their own walking, or is it just an ambulance thing? Radomir, I think there only is one bus to the coal mine. Now the thing is too, we have the coal mine turned all the way down to, like, we could turn the people down even more, but now I think we're at a pretty happy place, right? Because if you look, we're just barely keeping up at this moment, which is going to be like a micromanaging nightmare. See, like in a second here, we're going to start not running out, but we're going to, yeah, see, we don't have a full thing of coal here now. So, yeah, so I don't want to, so bringing that other bus up here to the steel mill is helping keep the steel mill running more often, I think. Even though it's just a little tiny bus, like we don't have that many extra people anyway. So at this point, I'd actually almost consider increasing the number of people at our coal ore. Yeah, see, we only have one worker here as part of the problem. So the coal ore is still going down. Yeah, I guess that sometimes I've learned with this game, and I don't always show it on like the regular videos. The manual construction, the studying these things really gets you to know the game a lot better in the long run. It's boring, I'm sure, to a lot of people to sit there and watch it on YouTube, but it does really teach you the game. I mean, and this game is so in depth in a weird way. Like, you wouldn't really think there would be that much to it to try to coordinate and get all lined up, and but if you have the right mindset to enjoy this kind of game, I think this one does a really good job of all that kind of, lets you like I think I said it in my description, right? It's like a micromanager's dream. Yeah, say if we're not getting, yeah, say, so now we have full coal here, but we have no one here. So it's almost like we need another bus to get people up here. Is this the only one, I think? So some of the problems with the busing and all is that when they get back to back, like I'd be willing to buy another little tiny bus just to get people up to here steady. Yeah, so we got 3, and now the coal ore is going right back down. I don't know. I think we're doing okay, though we're doing a little bit better with our steel workers, which is great. Because again, I think even if we end up purchasing some coal, we're probably better off keeping ahead of our steel workers there. Yeah, Radomir and Dennis, that does make sense. That was where I was going before I got distracted by the other comment. But yeah, thinking could we squeeze a bus stop in down here is sort of where I was going with that train of thought before I distracted myself. Now, what I'm thinking of is how can we make the most use of this bus stop? And I'm thinking, can we just get like a little one? Yeah, well, let's do a little leveling if we can. All right, if we put it over here, then if we build, well, we don't want to build too many. Well, we're really not going to be polluting this way. This would serve very well for this. I don't necessarily want to put it here. I'd rather have like houses right there. So I would be more inclined. I think we should put it here because that will we could get students going to this bus stop, and we could also get the hospital visits, right? And then if people did live over here, they could use it, I don't know, to have a party. So let's, yeah, it's going to be a little goofy looking, but let's keep it close, right? Something like that. Let's get this guy working on it. No, that's the halls of residence. So we will need to get a footpath. Yeah, do we even need this little bit? Now, can we get a foot? I don't think we're going to be able to get a footpath off of here, are we? Let's take a look. No. get one off of here, but I guess we could go around the back, but then this building is like all the way out to here. So in other words, it looked really good to do that, but I don't think they can cut through the halls of residence to get over there. That's a good question. How do we get... Yeah, that means the people from here would have to walk all the way around. Let's at least get them... Can we get a footpath? Like, we can always delete the excess. Yeah. Just, this will be a little bit more for future. And then I could bring that a little further out this way, and they could decide to walk either way. But that doesn't really get our... Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a problem getting from this bus stop, though we probably should give them a footpath like this, right? Then why don't we give them one too, since why not? Yeah, and I don't see any reason to really connect this up. I think that'll be fine. And that guy should auto search and find that footpath. Though footpaths, I don't think he does the greatest job on because he doesn't have a bus. Yeah, we stopped him from doing that factory connection. All right, very good. So how are we doing up here? Well, we got all the basics down. I'm hoping to use up some of that steel. I don't want to stop our steel production. Now, are we limiting the amount? I don't know that we should limit the amount that much, do you? Let's go up to 50. Well, I guess the idea was that we were going to use this for more stuff. But once we go to use it for more stuff, I'm sure we'll use up the excess steel. But I don't really want to... If I'm not paying attention in 10 minutes time, I don't want this to fill up either. Well, I was mentioning that in the beginning. If the construction's not assigned, then, and that includes, like, if it auto searches, like this guy. So this guy's not auto searching for buildings. So no, I checked that in the very beginning. Well, I even checked it like before the episodes or the live stream started, because I was worried about the same thing, Dennis, about workers going into there. But it doesn't appear that that's the case unless it's assigned to construction. So no, I don't think there's anybody that's going to like a dumb construction assignment that they can't work on. Yeah, I guess. I like to have all the buildings connected to roads. I don't know why. You know, I'm not sure that there's a great benefit to deleting the roads there. It sort of works out here in this case pretty nicely for people to be able to walk there, I guess. I know what you're saying. Like, uh-oh. We don't want that to burn down. Well, at least we got fire protection, huh? Our fire truck drove right in there and disappeared. Oh, there he is. He's shooting water at the roof for a second. Yeah, how are we doing on shoppers? Yeah, we're really kind of borderline over here, aren't we? And I say that in the sense that we don't have a lot of sellers. We're really just in need of people in the worst way. Look, now we're down to 1198 on the... But you know what? We definitely have more babies than we did in the beginning, even though I probably should have taken a better note. So I don't think our population is necessarily going down. We're just not... There we go. At least we're back up to 1,200 workers. Now we could bring some more people over here, but I think we're doing okay. I don't want to really stop our one money maker, which is our oil export. Yeah, and we're getting, yeah, as soon as we have enough steel to complete this, which, you know, once we get enough steel to complete this, and by the way, why don't we, yeah, this guy, I think we're ready. We have enough money. Let's like ramp up the speed, if nothing else, for the sake of all of us sitting here staring at me doing hardly anything. Why don't we take this guy and say, you're going to get your steel from here, because it's closer anyway. Really, that's probably what we should do. Well, did we get this other construction site? Oh, this other construction site's done. Let's move. Never mind. You know what? Let me undo that so I don't forget that I did it at some point in the future. But I'm going to move all those trucks. Just they'll be a lot closer. Yeah, you want to come here for that. But I want to move all these trucks over, or trucks, mechanisms, everything over to here, because they'll be a little closer and they can help us. If nothing else, they're going to have the excavator, and I think they have a bulldozer. Let's see. Yeah, so they'll have this and this. And you know what? I actually want to send them out last, because they'll take a... I know we have 2 open hauls. Let's do it the proper way. Yeah, you get in here, and you get in here. Oh, we don't have a crane, but that's all right. We can send over another open haul, can't we? So let's send... I can't see. It's amazing. Look at that. It's like a homing pigeon. Just knows where to go, even though it's flying in the clouds. There it is. I'm surprised I did that well. I'm impressed. What is your store? Oh, your excavator. There we go. I think we got them all moving, right? Yeah, we can. Yeah, why are you? Oh, you're the covered hall. We never opened you. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. So once one of those covered hall gets over here, we'll have to remember to go back and get our crane. But then we need to assign this. So why don't we assign... Yeah, I hate to... Well, it's the only place to go pick people up right now. And gravel, you're going to go there. Steel. Bricks. Good. Nice. Okay, there they are. They're already coming over here. Yeah, so then we want to come over here. As soon as that guy drops off that bulldozer, I'm pretty sure he's... I guess he could be taking it out to a construction site, but I think that's all of them heading over here. Yeah, why don't I even just click on him? Yep, and we'll send him all the way back now. We'll go get that crane. Good, so then, now that he's assigned to everything and actually has some people, and he's really like a regular construction crew, if I'm remembering right. Why don't we get him working on the other big one over here? Oh, you know what? I didn't really want him. Okay. No, don't auto search everything. I closed my truck in my zeal of escaping. We'll have him work on our iron processing. Buildings without power supply. Asphalt can't produce asphalt, huh? People. People problems. We have a lot of people problems. And how is our coal doing? You know, we have coal. That's all we want. And our storage is down, so that means we are not in quite as much of a fear of... Yeah, good. So we're not going to overflow. Then we're going to use that steel up in a heartbeat when it comes to... Yeah, see, already this guy's going to suck up 61 of our steel. And so what I was going to say is, why don't we put this back on purchase? 978, almost 1,000 rubles for the steel already in 1970. So that's the hardest part about starting on hard is just that fact. And then the other thing you have to watch out for is all of our other prices are going up. Not that our exports aren't going up too, but you just have to be real careful that you don't get to this point where you run out of money and you just can't make anything else, and the steel's too darned expensive. But I think we've got that handled. Even by the time we build this, we'll always be able to construct the next thing because the steel won't cost us nearly as much as it would have if we didn't have this, right? All right, so let's go back because I closed that truck. That shouldn't take him long to get over here. Nope, he's already there. There we go. And once more. Oh. Once more. Good, so now we'll even have a crane to work on our thing. Let me read some of the comments here. I'm assuming, going way back on your comments, it can be across the road from the cinema. Well, I'd rather have houses right here, Radomir. If you meant the bus stop, like I would sort of rather have the houses. So you see a reason to connect the walkway. Yeah, I guess they do need to go shopping, don't they? You mean this little walkway? Yeah. You know what? And now I think I'm done being obtuse. Yeah, I see what you're saying here. Let's delete. You're saying that, yeah, you know, to a large degree, I don't even really care, to be honest with you, about the... Yeah, that's a little awkward now. You know what? I'm going to cancel this, even though I probably made another extra road node, and then... So you're saying we could do this. And then the only other issue we'd have is to take... Like, let's just take a regular road. No, that's not a road at all. Well, we could end up with houses over here, so why don't we at least take it to like here. And then I'll commit to that, and then come back here. I'm not sure that we need this, but no, we don't need all that. You know, I'm just going to even do the demo tool. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. And we haven't even built the halls of residence yet anyway. So let's commit to our footpaths, and this road's still being built. And then we're going to go and put the footpath back over here, is what you're saying, so that the people could get into like there. Couldn't hurt them, in other words. Yeah, otherwise they'd have to walk up and around, and that's not ideal. Yeah, so let's see. Did that help? Remember when we made that improvement way in the very beginning? Did it help with their walk? Nah, they still can't walk to the... Yeah, and we pretty much have paths the whole way. I just don't think without the bus they're ever going to get all the way over to here. But good luck, that road's done, so we can get this assigned. And I think I'll get you to do some of these. Same thing with you. Just because you're not going to use all your vehicles all the time. What else could he do? You know what? I'd probably rather get him, even though it's going to suck up some of our steel. Yeah, let's get him doing a few of these down. Oh, it doesn't connect. Okay. Is this one of those that will never connect? Because, no. It'll connect. Can I? Let's see. Can I not make another road node and still get you up there? Yeah. Ugly, but it's just a service road. Nobody's ever going to... The only people that need to get there are the construction crew. Yeah, so we'll have him doing all the conveyors over here. This other guy will... Oh, look at that. It's always a moment of, oh, look how far along my coal mine is. And then you realize you still have 3,000 days. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get that started was we'll use up all of our steel, and then it'll just be a long time before the actual iron is ready to come out of there. Similar kind of thing with this, even though it does use a lot more steel, where you just have so many work days, it pays to just get it worked on, because it's going to take us quite a while to get it done. Hello, Nino. Welcome. Gas station. Oh, yeah. Let's assign that so they don't have to go quite so far. Though, we don't really have power up here. Now, one of the other things we could do is start laying out our farm if we didn't have this guy so busy. Yeah, we need to get this power up here before that gas station. And I don't even think I did do power, though, didn't I? Yeah, see, there was this... I saw a flash of... There it is. Yeah, I think that will do that gas station if we can get that done. Yeah, that's right. I had a switch here. Now I'm remembering. So the switch here will allow us to run power out to there when we're ready to do the farms. So this needs to get done. At some point, it looks like somebody was bringing stuff over there, but then we must have stopped it, probably for the lack of steel and lower priority. Yeah, so I guess really, what do we got? Question mark. Uh-oh. Why are we question marking? Oh, are you? You know what? I know what to do here. I've done this before. Whatever footpath you were working on, don't do it anymore. Good. Yeah, plenty of gravel for the moment. Good. Small path between the cinema and the path that connects the uni. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's probably worth the shot. I mean, I'm not sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we just drew a straight line, it's almost like the problem is they have to go dink, 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 dink. And I'm not, it certainly couldn't hurt to try it. That's for sure. And it won't hurt for this path, right? Like, yeah, so let's see. Let's bring this one to the edge of the building and then to here. Kind of can go nuts with these footpaths. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's just do that one. Yeah, so I must have... There must be some footpath. Why would we not be able to get to one of those footpaths I had assigned? Or... Oh, no, you know what? It was probably... Yeah, it wasn't those two. It was probably this construction crew that was auto-searching footpaths was probably the one causing the clog up. Yeah, I don't see any real... You know, I mean, these guys... And again, I'm not that worried. We're going to get a bus stop over here so these people can go there. But yeah, that won't hurt for getting the halls of residence people over into the shopping area. Though I don't know why they wouldn't. Well, really, the thing to do with them is probably get them walking over to the street more quickly. We'll see. Let's see if they have a problem first getting to the store, because everything else is sort of on pretty close. This one might be a little far away. Cool. All right, what's next? Yeah, so we've got this assigned. I'm going to do the iron, but then Steve, I think, is the only one that's really voted. So if you guys have an opinion towards, do we head towards the crops? Like once construction slows down, which I just assigned him a bunch more stuff. What was it? Oh, there's conveyors. Well, I don't think, do you need excavators for the conveyors? No, I don't think we really do. But they're going up pretty quick. Yeah, see, he's still got his bulldozer over here. I think, or bulldozer, excavator over here. So once he gets done this phase of construction, why don't we go lay out our farm for at least to say it was laid out. And then we don't have any more construction vehicles. We could buy an excavator over here and plan this out as well. You know, power plant. Let's take a look at our economy as we go. What are we, December? Let's look at last month. Should be a good enough snapshot. We're selling fuel and bitumen. Speaking of which, how is that doing? Well, we're maxing out because we're not exporting enough. So I say as soon as we're able, as soon as we think we're past the steel rush of... As soon as we're past the steel rush of building our iron, why don't we build those pipelines and then free up all those trucks? Yeah, let's take a look at this. Will you tell me? No, you... Yeah, it won't tell me until they're completed if you can reach or not. But I'm pretty sure this substation will reach to here. So good. So that's another steel thing that's done. And then when this guy gets done these conveyors, we could get him to work on the rest of the conveyors, and then we'll have a decent idea. Like, do we have enough steel right now? No, I could almost tell you we don't. We only have 58 tons of steel. We're going to start purchasing it at 1,000 shots. So right now it would be 150,000 more that we would need just to do this one building. So that'll take away a good chunk of our money, but we're in good shape, right? Compared to where we were. Okay, is that what it is? So maybe we're working on, yeah, we got a mechanism coming up here. Yeah, so that's probably why he got these done so quickly. Now where is, well, his only excavator's right there, but we don't have any, well, we have 3 people. People should move the ball forward, but we don't have any of the supplies here. Yeah, and that's where these like mini stage projects get to be inefficient, is because you end up with people at times, but then no materials, and then materials and no people. So like that's why like building a bus stop's much longer than you would expect sometimes. Speaking of which, How are we doing? Because there's just a number of stages to it, but we're a third of the way, so we'll buy a bus once we get that going. And then how are you doing? You're just, yeah, missing a bus. Well, that's the plan, that you'll just mostly supply people with stuff. Yeah, what are you? Buildings without power supply, concrete plant. Yes, every time we see that, and I didn't look fully out of our economy. Yeah, we only have 170 unemployed workers, and that's really not too bad. 200. Okay, we're back up to 1207. So we seem to just have a cap on our population, but at least we're not in crisis. And these numbers here seem pretty good. Like, you know, let's take a look at this year. Yeah, look at our babies. Definitely getting up towards almost 600, which is a good sign. And then this is pretty stagnant, but not bad, I guess. But good. So we have more babies definitely than we did at the beginning of the year. So then we're looking at, this is the end of the year, so this is going to jump forward for us in a second. But and then if we looked at last year while we still can, yeah, so we definitely have at least as many babies and children as we did before. It seems like we're getting a little bit of a baby boom, which is making me smile a little bit over here. Good. All right, so economy. Last month, even though we're at the end of this month, what did we spend our money on last month? Iron, 13,000 is the biggest. Mechanical components, 11,000. And food, 10,000. And then the other clothing, electronics, meat, 3,000 to 4,000 or so. Power, 7,000. Yeah, so it definitely would be good to knock that off our list. But food is definitely getting costly for us. You know what? Let me leave that up so you guys can see it. Last month. Radomir, I guess we could. It's further away from some of our constructions. I don't know if it makes that much difference. Can we even do that? I never really tried to send them right. Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't certainly see that it would make sense. Oh, guess what? Did we not? Did I go in here and then I just didn't click the... There we go. There goes our money. Yeah, so we'll run as fast as we can until we get, like, let's say down to a little bit below 100,000, and then just to have a little bit of a buffer in case we need to buy something. I wasn't real comfortable when we got down to 50,000. So we'll get this down to 100,000, then we'll cut it off again. Hey, G Swedish, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah, we still have coal, so yeah, if we look at our imports, yeah, we'll just look at last month. Yeah, we didn't import any coal, so that's good. We don't, we're not overflowing with coal, so everybody that's getting up there is working. Now, at some point that may prove not to be true, and we'll want to up the number of workers. But it's not like we can up it that much as it is. Yeah, I mean, it's down to 3, but with the 2 buses going back and forth, I think those 2 buses, even though it's just that little tiny bus, see, like, there's another, it's the difference with that little bus just went in there. I don't know if you guys could see it, and he gave us 9 more workers, I think, and it's just enough to keep that running that much more steadily, using up that much more coal and that much more iron. So are we done? Yeah, good. All the steel is on the construction site here, so that's great. So we're not going to use any more steel up for that. because I think that, yeah, our rush was, yeah, so we haven't even gotten the steel over here to that engine. This one I think we did. Yeah, we've already got the parts over there. I'd say that, yeah, we're starting on one of the phases of steel, so that brought it down. So we might catch up on the steel here. Yeah, see, we're only purchasing like 14 tons and we've got 26 tons. So it's not like I have a huge urge to run our money down to nothing, but good. So that'll be a little while before we go through another. And I think that when it comes to this conveyor, we'll hold off until we think we have enough steel for it. 45 tons of steel just for that one conveyor. I mean, it'll be worth having, but it'll be a bit expensive. Like, in other words, if we don't have to, I'd rather not purchase steel in. Not that, I mean, it's also not very smart to have money sitting there doing nothing. So we'll see. This will keep our construction going pretty well. And how is our bus stop? What is going on here? No workers or mechanism. Okay. Well, we can. I think that's just a matter of timing. Yeah, because you're working on the bus platform and that thing. So he's just probably taken the vast majority of his workers up there. Again, I'm really not the biggest one worried about every single student getting educated. As long as we have enough to keep our schools educating people, and we seem to be fine, right? Like, you don't need everyone to be college educated, even though I have learned since months ago that it doesn't really hurt you to educate them. This is... When you think about it, oh, you know what? When you think about it, yeah, 10 professors should be more than enough. Yeah, and really over here, kind of the same thing. How many do we have? Oh, yeah, well, see, we got that one down to 20, but that's fine because I think we have more people over here. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I really don't care that we have that many educated people. It's like the same thing that's happening in the United States these days. We got thousands and thousands of college-educated kids sitting around doing nothing, waiting for a college-level job that doesn't exist. They'd have been far better off in a lot of cases going to trade school. We don't have trade schools. That would be an interesting thing where if you could, in the game, you know, like, I don't know if you had them in the Soviet, but I'm sure you would have some kind of trade schools. Every nation needs a way to teach people to be carpenters and plumbers. And yeah, let's get this guy doing this. But like, if you could do trade schools that would like improve the workers' speed for certain, you know, just like the university lets them be a doctor, it would be cool if we could have other things like that, like a trade school or something. Yeah, I think we did. Did we do all the research? I would do the research over here because we're less... Okay, one more research to do. Let's get that one done. This is another area I think that they could really improve as time goes on. I mean, I'm glad they got the mechanism in the game, but it's really like somebody was making a comment about doing the research, and like to me, it's sort of, there's no real price to the research in a sense. Like other games, will slow you down or speed you up. Like this will be done, you know, but by the time we talk about two more things, we're going to be done that research. It won't really have affected anything. It didn't cost us any money. And it's nothing wrong with it. It just, I think you could do a lot more with the research in here and make like an actual research tree of sorts. And it just doesn't seem, well, I guess you did have to build the technical university. And then I guess when it comes to the other one, the medical university, that would be kind of interesting to see if they expanded that. Yeah, I definitely want to get this. I think we're doing fine, but we could do better. And having said that, it's like we're now wasting people working over here. Maybe what we should do is look at one of these houses. Is it getting kind of full? Yeah, look at this one. Let's go grab some people. And we will put them where they could get educated. Well, you know what? Why don't we take specifically just a few more educated people out of here? Oops, I didn't necessarily mean to close that. If we take some of the people out of here, then yeah, that one. Why does that one only have 58? Like I'm okay at this point. Yeah, that was the same one I just had open. Yeah, that one still has plenty. Before we end up, oh look at that, we have a house maxed out. That's bad. Yeah, let's take. Yeah, so we were stifling our own population, at least in theory. I'm just gonna. There we go. So that's going to increase the number of workers we have over here. So let's go. Now that we did that, I should expect more to get to the coal. We have none. Now, I think it takes them a few minutes because they're going to do some extra shopping and whatnot. But good. And that should cut down on the number of workers that are getting into here, which should mean that we're not wasting. See, right now we have 77 people who are just really not doing anything because we shifted trucks from bitumen. But like I said, let's see, once we get past the steel where we're just not, where we think we can afford to start doing those pipes, we'll start doing those pipes, and that'll free up the trucks, and then the trucks can start hauling more stuff out for us. Does that sound like a good plan? Rather than buying like more trucks at this exact second. I know that's maybe not the best way to do it, but it's not like the trucks are free either. And Lord knows, once we get a train going, we're gonna have more cistern trucks than you could shake a stick at. You know, like in the long run, we'll have all the cistern trucks we ever needed. And hey, look at this is kind of a problem too, isn't it? So who else is coming in here? Let's sit here and wait for a moment and see if it's just that we can't get the stuff out any faster, which makes Steve's earlier suggestion that much more pertinent to get those tanks going where we can. Yeah, we might. This might have just gone up the priority list a little bit higher. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, this is not really clearing itself up, is it? Look at all these guys over here getting fuel. Yeah, so we're probably just spending a ton of fuel. I mean, it's all worth it. It's all making us money. But if we could cut down and get trains going, and that's where the prefab panels would definitely be, you know, getting this coal plant to produce power and prefabs and bricks and all is definitely a good argument. I'm not sure if it's a better argument than fuel, but getting this all going, I mean, if these trucks are being held up because this is just too busy now, we just have too many trucks, we need to get them spread out going to these tanks. Now, the only problem with, we can't get them all going to the tanks necessarily because I think that'll just cause a bigger backup in the long run. But it does mean we should definitely be working on this, which we're not. Because this wouldn't cost us steel to get that going. Now we have these guys. Oh, they're searching. Yeah, but I don't see anybody really moving. Now where are you? Yeah, you're just... Why do you have so many unfinished roads and whatnot? Like, I wouldn't think we had that many unfinished roads over here. I don't know what to say. All right, well, anyway. This construction crew, you're in kind of the same boat, and I know this is probably the least efficient way we could do this, but You know what? I don't really want to move you, but maybe we could at least just have you start working over there, because that's a full road, and it should get you rolling some trucks out anyway, right? Yeah. So at least we'll start getting over there and getting that paved in anticipation of having enough steel. Does that sound like a plan on what we should do? Because that's going to be a lot of steel. Like, I forget what are these tanks? Yeah, 11 tons, and we got 4 tanks, so that's like 14 tons. The pump's another 10 tons, so that's, you know, we're at 60 tons, and then when it comes to the pipes, 227. So we're talking about as much steel as it cost us to build the iron ore up here. So it's going to be a very expensive project for us. Now the good news is that it looks like we're staying ahead of our steel usage, at least for the moment. Yeah, 11 workers, running low on coal. Let me read the comment there. Yeah, Radomir, I think everybody would have trade schools. It just makes too much sense not to have a trade school. I mean, every country needs trades. You don't need engineers almost as much as you need tradespeople. In other words, you could have an economy that's very third world or something, and you wouldn't need you wouldn't need an engineer, but you'd still need somebody to fix the plumbing or to get the electricity into your house. And I'm not suggesting your countries were like that. I'm just saying if you went to some third world country. Yeah, you know what? When you look at the education, I mean, they do have like the 3 buildings, and I say 3. Well, you have the regular schools, but certainly if you picture a trade school in amongst these things, and then you could definitely do more with the Communist Party headquarters, right? Like make that a certain form of education that would, propagandist or something that would keep your people happy. And I don't know, I'm sure you could think of other things. Just they were organizers, right? Like they weren't, the Communist Party members did many things. It's not that they didn't have jobs and help organize workers and make things more efficient. And then you could have like your obviously technical. I mean, you could even have like specialty medical kind of things, right? Where you could go further with, not just a doctor, but maybe you have surgeons and other things. And again, the technical university could certainly be, along the lines of a trade school, though I think they probably mean that towards, I'm picturing more like engineering in a sense. But a technical university here is not a term that we would normally use in America, at least. Technical colleges, yeah. Well, again, see, we use the word university different. Like, a lot of times we say going to college, and it's kind of true because you enroll in a college. Like, imagine if we had a medical university and a technical university, as they're called in the game. They could be a technical college and a medical college, form a university together. So, for example, I went to the College of Engineering, but there was a College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. There was a College of Business, College of Nursing, College of Law. Does that make sense? And that was all under the one university. But in any event, regardless of what system, we could definitely, that would be cool to get that expanded. And the halls of residence, we call those dormitories usually over here. They serve more of a mechanical game purpose. And we probably could consider we certainly could consider getting those built as a way of getting. Let's get the roads, little footpaths going while we're at it. Though I don't really want to suck up too many of this guy's workers to do these footpaths. There we go. I think there we go. I forget what I was going to say now. Sorry, guys. I don't want to. That's what I was going to say. I don't want to really. I do want to get this bus stop done, but I think all of our workers are just going up to here. So I guess, is there another? This guy has buses, right? Yeah, and he's going to be sending all his workers to the. Yeah, I think we're committed to our iron ore plant, even if that means probably not getting too many people over there. They're not walking that distance, so that's part of the problem too. Yeah, there are some people can make it over here walking, but just not too many. How's our coal? Just not keeping up. Yeah, there's a lot of plans. I don't know if you guys have heard anything different, but I did gather that they were trying to get more people, and I don't know that that's always a good thing in life. I've been involved with running businesses, and new people need to be trained, and they're often not very productive, and who the hell knows who you just hired, and are they any good to begin with? And so you could take a lot of effort from the guys and girls that know what they're doing and devote it towards training these people that may or may not even work out, right? So if you're a small company of, say, 5 people, because I get the impression it's a small group at best that's working on this, and now they hire more people because they got the income because their game's been somewhat successful. Like, it could definitely be tough to get that. You can slow yourself down more by hiring new people, I guess is what I'm saying. So, because I kind of wonder, because they really haven't, they've been doing a great job of keeping the game and the important stuff going, which shows me they have good management, but they really haven't lurched forward on a lot of these things that we've talked about are coming, And I think they're doing it really smart. If you have if that is the problem, and I'm just guessing, I think they are being very smart about it. So there's no complaints there. Just do wish it was going better, I guess, at some point. You know what I think I may do? Let me just assign this and this, because that might help. Yeah, do we have another? I'm not sure if a footpath would matter. Yeah, is that really? No, wrong one. Yeah, so everybody can kind of get there. But I just sort of wanted to make sure that they could get here as quickly as possible, right? I don't know, do they pick the easiest place to go to work? Yeah, it's Radomir. It's the same thing here in America, where you go through grade school. Sometimes they call it middle school. Will be like the grades 6, 7, 8, something like that, and then you go to high school, and then after that, there's the closest thing we would have to like a pre-university. Like, college is not a pre-university. College is college. It's the same thing as university. It's just that a university is a group of colleges, typically. Now, again, there are words that people can use to describe many different situations, right? I mean, I don't know if you ever, whatever, I won't get into it. But in other words, sometimes people don't use the words exactly how you would expect, but that's generally the gist of it. But they do have community colleges, we call them here, and they're usually 2-year colleges that the admissions criteria aren't very strict. So it gives people an opportunity to learn and go to college and kind of see if it's for them. And it's usually relatively inexpensive, so that if you're, if you don't have a lot of money, it's the way a lot of people who, kind of screw around when they're teenagers and young adults can end up going back and getting started on their college degree. And then if they do well there, then a regular college or university would admit them at that point if they got good grades at the community college. But so that's the closest thing we would have to like pre-college. Well, you say if Peter, yeah, I have heard his name, Peter. If he was the main programmer and he was a one man operation, then it sounds like he was the, as we would say in America, chief cook and bottle washer as well. And you start, I don't know, I'm sure your countries are probably the same in general. Like when you start taking on employees, now you need HR and you need, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of training. If he has to go and train all these people, I wouldn't expect a massive amount of production from from the new employees that he may have gotten. Especially because the guy that was making everything move forward is now probably drug away to 17 other tasks each day. Yeah, bigger, definitely the sports could be, that could definitely be something else, I would agree, that's, could be worth improving. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just, I understand, like, these are both football fields, but how is the football field the same size as a tennis court? Like, now I can understand but you'd have to have like a massive tennis court complex to equal one football field, right? And how many people can go? I'm assuming there's they're calling it a playground, which is sort of weird, like a football playground. At least in English, it's weird. Like I wouldn't ever call it a football playground. It's either a football field, but how many people could go to a football field and play? Now I understand they have 22, but wouldn't other people go and watch? And I mean, at least in America, the vast majority of people that participate in sports are people that watch it. So yeah, why couldn't more people come in here and, I mean, if nothing else, you'd have two referees, right? If not more, depending on the circumstances, at least one. Anyway, yeah, I think they could do a lot to improve many different little things like that. And I think that, if Peter set all this up, I think he's doing everything in the right order. And it's no criticism, anything I just said. At least please don't take it that way. I think he's done it in the right order. He's kept the game playable. He's kept it enjoyable. He hasn't broken it, for his want to improve it. And I think he's got a lot of little pieces that I could see, from a programming point of view, I think he's got a lot of the work done. Like, in order to make a bigger stadium, you probably have all the coding that you need. Like, what's the difference if you made one graphically that looks different and bigger, right? Yeah, bug fixes. Yeah, he's definitely done a lot of that stuff, no doubt. Yeah, the modding, I think that is where they've put most of their effort in. It seems that way recently, is besides the bug fixes. And hey, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly the kind of thing that you probably should do first before you add a lot of different building shapes, because that's, just, I can understand why people like a lot of different building shapes. It's obviously aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time, it's, get the core of the game. If that's all you can work on, yeah, get those bugs fixed, get those things like the workshop going, make sure everything's working really well before you design 72 different kind of buildings. Now, just so you guys know too, the reason I haven't done anything is I don't want to slow down my map, in the sense of mods are notorious for not getting very good performance. Now, I'm not saying that any particular mod is good or bad out there, but the fact is that I would rather be able to take my map, the regular map, to its full completion after 150 or whatever we're up to episodes, than worry about the mods. But I will definitely be doing another series that, might have a different flavor to it, and mods will almost definitely be on it, and then we just won't worry. I'll never feel the need to accomplish what I did in this last series, right? Like, at least not on a personal level. So the next series will probably be a little bit different in that respect, and we'll get some mods going and things like that. Good. This conveyor engine's done. Now, what is going on with this one? Oh, workers. Let's take a look at our workers since I've been blabbering on. Filling time. Well, we're at 1,201. We just don't seem to ever be able to get above and out of this. Well, look, we have the whole map's population is slightly higher, over 2,400. Let's look at this year. Yeah, look, we got 2,700. We didn't have it say 2,700. We were always capped, so we are slightly 46 more than I think we've had in quite a while. So, and we definitely have, you know, we're getting close to 700 children, so that number is going up, and, you know, our babies don't look too impressive there, but it's certainly over 500 babies, so good. I don't think we have a crisis. We just don't have a massive number of people that are extra either, so. Yeah, turning this down really didn't affect us so far. But again, we'll try to get this bus stop done one of these decades. I think I just have things out of order. And this is where it would be nice too. Here's another, I know you can't click and drag, but a lot of games you can reorganize these. Like, it would be nice to just bump this up without having to cancel. Because I have to cancel the iron mine, which I don't really want to do, right? I just want to, like, if we have trucks on the way dropping stuff off, or buses on the way, I don't really want to stop them mid-flight. It's not that important to me. But it would be nice to just be able to bump this up the priority list a little bit. Anyway, and again, anybody who's listening, these aren't complaints. I mean, I don't know, sometimes my opinion, though I think it's the best one in the entire world, is not what everybody else wants. And again, there's technical hurdles that they have to overcome and everything else. And I'm willing to wait for them. How are we doing here? Concrete can't produce concrete. That's sort of... Yeah, we're just not... You would think the bus from here would be pretty darn quick. Or you just... Yeah, I think it's just traffic-y. Yeah, it's just sort of a traffic situation too here. But there's no real sense in fixing it because, you know, we're just getting every worker we can out of this bus stop at this point. Look at that. Just okay, now there's a little bit of a break. No, there's not even a break because here comes another bus. We're just constantly pulling every single worker out of here we could. So I think that's good. Now, how do we do with our little adjustment over here? Now we're getting low on fuel. Yeah, so let's... Well, that guy's heading out. We want to get him heading back. Yeah, bitumen. We want a fuel truck. Yeah, switch over to bitumen. And then do everything so that way we don't have to worry about... Yeah, because now we're low on bitumen. Or, I mean, too high on bitumen. So let's... No, that's a bitumen truck. Let's switch over two of the fuel trucks, even though... Here we go. Put that on everything. Good. All right, so now we should be getting slightly more bitumen taken out of there. Because I definitely don't want to run out of fuel. Now, how are we doing on our steel? We seem to be... Can we get these pipes going? In other words, make this a little more efficient over there. So we need 137 more tons of steel here. And then we're going to need 45 for this conveyor. So that's basically 175. And I'm not worried about that. And this has all its steel. So 175. We have 80. But also, we have almost 300 grand. And you are really more of a paving crew. I might end up moving this guy. Well, you know what? Let's go do our farm design because we have those things out there. Now, yes, you got that done. So you can do this one. Let's get him to finish paving. Yeah, see, this is where these little roads are a real pain when it comes to assigning this stuff manually. So here's what I'm thinking. We have no trucks over here to do any construction, but I definitely think that building this, once, you know, it's very steel intensive, we get our iron done, which is just going to save us a lot of money on making the steel, and we'll see a big bump to here. And I'm not against spending our money on importing more steel or whatever else we need to get things going. But now that this guy has done that phase of construction, I think we could design this out at this point, right? Where we can actually level some stuff up a little bit. Let me read some of the comments and give you guys a chance to comment. Yeah, I'm Foxy Cole. I'm reading your and Off the Rails comments about the coding. I mean, coding's like speaking any other language. I mean, you could say learning English is extremely difficult, right? But like Off the Rails says, once you get the hang of it, you don't even really think about it. The hard part's not writing the code necessarily. I mean, it's, you know, it's like writing the perfect poem. You know, like, yeah, it certainly has its challenges to it, but it's more the logic that is the hard part. You know, it's the logic behind the code that you have to be really good at once you know how to speak the language. Like, just because I can speak English doesn't mean I'm going to be writing poems, in other words. Because it's just, the skill is just not the same. So to say that coding is hard, no, I don't really think coding is hard. It's being able to do the business logic or whatever, the game logic, and make that all fit together in a way. That's the difficult part. So in other words, it's more about what type of program. I mean, I could write a really easy program that's not hard at all because I just don't even think about the code. Now, the other thing is there is a lot to remember as far as the code goes. I'll give you that. But once you do it enough, it's, I don't know, the things you know you don't even think of after a while. All right, let's get rid of that one. So what I'm thinking of is trying to get as many farms up in this area without doing too much leveling. Like, there's going to be some areas here that, like, I'm going to try not to go my normal nuts with it, which, bear with me, I'm not the best at not going nuts with leveling. So like, we'll try to take, oop, am I raising? Yeah, I don't want to raise. So anyway, let me read some more comments. Yeah, boats and airplanes would definitely add an interesting gist to the game, right? All right, so let's look back here. If we were going to do a row of these things, I'm kind of leveling too far, aren't I? Yeah, we'll want to take a little more of that. Let's use our regular old-fashioned smoothie tool. Yeah, see, we want to probably lower this a bit. We definitely want to Get rid of this hump. Nope, that's not at all what I wanted to do. So let's lay down. Is that big enough for a big field? Yes. I think that's... Let's go over to it turns. Let's get it nice and straight with the grid. It is. Yeah, so right there. Let's see how many we can get in. See, like that, we don't even really have to get rid of that hump, which is... I don't know how the game decides these things, I'll be honest, but whatever. Just so it doesn't look... Yeah, that's... It's not like in the, it's not, even though it looks all red and ugly, it's really not, the game's not disliking it in a sense. Like I can't get it to change back, like I can't reset the tool without going up the hill there. All right, so this, yeah, let's plop down another one. So I certainly would like to try to get close to 14 in here if we can. That seems to be, keep you always with crops. We'll just sort of keep these even, because there's no reason not to. Yeah, and see, this one would fit in other than right up there, and then we're not going to get another one in because I think, not unless we brought it forward. So let's just see. Let's go back to our leveling tool. Good. The good news is we can level all the way out here with no problem. Just take this down a little bit. Well, Foxy, cool. The other thing I would say to you, when I know you've been working on getting mods in the game, it's far harder to understand someone else's code and what they did and do the kind of thing like that you're doing than it would be to, in some ways, I mean, there's more work to writing the whole game, but what you're doing is far more of a pain because you've got to kind of figure out what somebody else did. You can't just do it for yourself, in a sense. Like, if you were just making your own game, you could, oops, move forward, try to line up these arrows. You can kind of move it over and see how we have two green dots. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I got to stay a little zoomed out. I can go back a little bit until all those dots are red and then over, and that sort of looks on like it's on a straight line at that point, right? So in other words, I don't know if you followed that, but there we go. There's 3 out of the 14, and I don't think we're going to get another one up here, if nothing else, because there's a rock right there. So let's demolish this field, and we'll demolish this one. We'll demolish this one. Now, what I'd like to do is, yeah, see, we're not going to get all the way over to here, so let's just go and yeah, this one's, if we put one, yeah, I think we can shift it over. What I'm trying to do is get an idea, like, can we get 2 in over to here? The first rocks I'm saying is over here. We can, so yeah, I think we should shift, because here would be the normal plan. Do 1, 2, 3, 4 across here. We only got 3. And then do 3 this way and 3 this way, and then put the farm right in the middle. And again, it's going to hurt us that we don't have this one, but we can maybe try to find, maybe we can get 5 across the bottom here to make up for the one we didn't have there, right? Because I think that, does that sound like a plan? Though that looks like a rock right there. Hopefully we can miss it. All right, so then I just want to smooth out this a bit. Just so that we don't have quite the hills. I don't think these are really a problem, but and then before we go too long, we'll you stop them from being red. We don't need to make this perfect. And then we'll go check on things because I'm completely ignoring everything else in the game. Yeah, we got a bit of a hill right there. Yeah, it's hard to get this to turn. There we go. Turn yellow if I go down there. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yep. No, it won't turn yellow anymore. All right, let's just place a couple fields, see what it looks like. Before we do it, let's put, do we do asphalt roads? You can always change them, but they do help get those trucks, and trucks are one of your bigger problems, making sure your trucks get in and out of there. I won't attach that one up just so that it, but this gives a little bit of a buffer, but we'll get rid of that little end bit, get rid of this end bit. So that way, that's just one project until we figure out where this field's going. That's the wrong button. All right, that way we know we can get a road in there. Yeah, see, this is going to be not perfect, but what can you do? Yeah, that one's just touching. It does. It looks. I don't think the road's perfectly straight with the grid. Then the question is, yeah, see, that's not a rock. So we could go back and leave plenty of room in the middle to be able to actually fit our farm, right? With a little leveling over there. But let's go check on things because things. Yep, so you're still, and you, I assume, you still are not doing a whole lot. You know what, this one, let's go give him, are you done down here? Just about. I think it's worth us waiting down here and seeing. And then we can check our oil thing while we're here. Okay, yeah, you got to go back the other way. But then we'll, you're not going to be the best because you don't have a bus. Or do you? No, you don't have a bus, so you're. I don't want to give you a little tiny road like this, or these. As a matter of fact, oh, that's right. These are already. Yeah. See, I don't really want to destroy what's already there. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that one needs a mechanism so he can get it done. Good. So how do we do here? Well, we're still. We got a lot more fuel. Yeah, we just need to get this done. That's the bottom line. So, like I said, as soon as we get done this iron, where the heck am I? Get this iron done. Oh, good. Look, we're down to 500. I know we don't have a ton. Oh, yeah, we're getting. Well, this is just, that's fine. But we're down to 500 work days here, which is great. And then we have enough money and or steel. Do we have 45? Oh, no, look, we don't. No, we're purchasing steel now, so. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We can let our steel build back up before we assign too much more. Yeah, and see, that's what I was talking about with, I didn't want to assign this because why just pay for that steel when we might not need to pay for the steel depending on the timing of things. You know, we did take a hit in our money a little bit, but why spend it if we can make it for closer to free? All right, I'm gonna read comments for a minute here to make sure I caught up on all of them. Okay, Steve, you've seen me check the bus stops, and do you mean? Yeah, I mean this bus stop, as far as like if you mean like zooming out, like all of the people here can get to this bus stop, so there's no particular excuse for them not to go. And then we definitely have enough bus stopping over here if you happen to mean over here. Um, you know, and I don't think we're necessarily having a problem. The biggest issue, and this is where I agree with Dennis's comment right after yours, is we need to get these tanks going over here and get the tanks going, get get these pipes in here going, because that'll free up more trucks, so we'll be able to spread the trucks out, so that, because I think this is slowing us down now, is we just have, there's no sense in buying more trucks because we're just jammed up, and a lot of these trucks are coming in with oil. All right, so it might even be better just to get the oil going in first, because if we click on enough of these trucks, they're oil trucks dropping off. So yeah, either tanks or the incoming would definitely, I tend to agree, should be our next thing. I don't know if everybody else agrees. I mean, and again, with that costing 300 steel, it'll be good to, be a little bit patient in the game. And I think we're going to see our money going up a fair amount quicker, because if we take a look at our economy, let's just kind of confirm. Again, I always like to look at last month so the numbers don't move. 15,000 in iron we spent. That's our biggest expense besides the steel that we decided to purchase, to keep things going. And I bet you most of that steel went into getting the iron, which I'm kind of happy about, because within a month we'll pay, or 2 months we'll pay off getting that extra steel in that much quicker. So yeah, when you look at, and that's the thing, that's the killer when you don't have a steel plant too, by the way. That's just a massive expense for you. So I'm going to try to work it out where we're going to buy what we need as much as we can, but prioritize keeping the steel going, because it's just going to be such a money savings. It's not funny. Yeah, I worked for a company doing medical billing, and there's plenty of programmers that came and went that just couldn't understand the medical billing and how to really think about it logically and turn it into code, right? I'm not saying they were bad coders, but it was just different than they were used to thinking about things or something, and it was just... And especially people that are like fresh out of college with coding, who've never really learned business logic and how to actually make the code do business logic in a sense. And if you know anything about American medical billing, it's just far more complicated than you would believe. And to try to make a computer do it automatically, you really have to be able to think logically through every single aspect of what needs to be done, and then put it into code. Is there a vehicle like this one? If that's the one you mean. We have power like here, but we just don't have it hooked up. But they haven't... If we don't send a truck up here, I haven't seen anybody getting stuck there, so which is kind of a good thing. Why are you guys all just sitting around? Because you're just getting that building done. But you know what? Now that you're just sitting around, why don't we work on said power? Because that does need to be done. Now this needs a road attaching to it, doesn't it? So let's, yeah, how are we going to get you? Let's do the, now is this, now we could just do a dirt road. Dirt roads are, yeah, I was afraid of that. That's exactly what I was afraid of. So our power line, right? Yeah, our power line's right there. So maybe I can come off this way. Yeah. Yeah, that's just temporary when we, temporary to get a truck in there. Yeah, that one's already assigned. There it is. Come on. And then that goes over to here, which goes to here, which goes to here. Doesn't connect. Okay, we can work on that. Oh, really? Well, I guess we just lose that gravel, but I'd rather just have the road connected, and there's no reason other than a fire truck going up there, which I hope doesn't happen too often. All right, so there we go. So there's another big expensive steel, and I think, let's zoom out so I can see. Yeah, that goes all the way over to here, so that should get us all attached up on power, which even if there's not cars stuck in this gas station, I still don't necessarily want them. Let's get to using it, right? They're good. Took care of that problem. And you've got more than your share of stuff to do. And you, oh, we got the bus stop done. Good. All right, so now we got people going to the bus stop and no bus. So let's, I guess we should get a pretty decent sized bus, right? I don't think it necessarily needs to be the fastest, but it holds 55. Isn't there one that holds like 8? Yeah, this is, I think this is the one I like because it holds 80. Goes 75. This one holds 83. Goes 60. Yeah, let's, I don't know that there's any, let's go with this. I don't think I've ever bought many of these. It looks like a school, American school bus. All right, so we want you to go from there to there, but I don't want you to take workers, right? Or do we? No, don't take any workers. And then start. So hopefully that'll help get a few more people to the hospital. Yeah, and I don't even want you holding workers over here, but you can take passengers back and forth. Though I'm not sure why you would walk all the way over here to be a passenger. But do passengers go to the hospital? I don't know, whatever. If there's passengers waiting over here, I have no issues if we drop them off over here, though I don't know why you would want to be a passenger from over here. So there we go. No passengers. Yeah, so they must. See, that's another thing to watch out for. I think that we might be hurting ourselves by having people waiting over here. I think it's people coming from like this house to go someplace, Lord knows where. But let's let the bus go back and forth a couple times just to see if it... What's the weight on the side? Oh, that's the doors. Thought maybe it was like some kind of advertisement. Man, we've picked up exactly no one. Nice. Okay. And then we have passengers over. Yeah, if it doesn't pick up passengers over here again, I think I'm going to turn the passengers. Oh, wait. I have. Okay, there we go. That would help. All right, did he pick up? Yeah, see, he's not picking up passengers. No reason for passengers to wait over here. I don't think people go back from anything, right? At least that's my understanding. Steve, I just caught up with your comment about the I somehow missed your comment about the power lines, but I think you just saw what I did. Go through these comments. It's been a while, Radomir, since I drank enormous amounts of beer, but there was a time in my life where I could do that. And yeah, I mean, I think we're getting enough staff here, and we're getting enough staff in the hospital without the busing. So I'm not really worried about workers going to here, right? Like, I don't need any more staff. I just need the people that want to go and get the service of the hospital, or the students that want to go that can't reach the university, is sort of what I'm thinking there. So I'm not worried about getting more workers over here. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't want the workers. I don't want more workers over there. It's not even that you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm getting enough from these houses that are close enough to be workers. And so I'd rather this one keep all its workers for the steel mill and the construction at this moment. Yeah, so we got 2 students, which, hey, that's better than a sharp stick in the eye. Though they look, I guess, do they always look like little students? Yep, there they go. Yeah, now they're going to the university. So that's at least, you know, that. I don't know if we'll ever see anybody come into here, but I hope they do. If nothing else, I think in the future is more where I was hoping that this spreads its wings and proves so useful. Like, as we have more people in different areas, like over here, then we can, it just won't hurt. We might end up with another bus stop down this way to get closer to the shopping, though. Yeah, I don't know if we're not. Yeah, I think we're fine. At least we got 2 more students going to school at that point. Oh, look, we got semiconductors. Let's go back over here and get that researching. And how are we doing? Yeah, we're doing pretty well. How are we doing on our construction of this thing? We are completed. Very good. All right, so now this conveyor is completed. This bus stop isn't, but we just set that other guy to a bunch of tasks. How is our steel? Not really that great, so I think we should just be a little bit more patient. And I think it sounds like we should be able to get this done by the end of the episode. You know, I think if we're just a little patient about things, we can go back to doing our farming and getting that lined up. But then how is our population? Down to 1197. But this is held pretty steady. Here, let's go to this year's June, so we're in good shape. Yeah, I mean, we're not losing population. We're just, you know, we're just not gaining it at a massive rate. Though this is going up with the children, so because we're even closer to 700 here. All right, well, let's go back to the farm, because I think things are good enough for over there for what we can do. So we said we need to level this down a little bit. You need a free excavator. Oh, are we? Okay, I messed myself up. Yeah, we could do the level. Yeah, let's do this level tool, because we do have a bulldozer over there. So so now that we made a mark, how close? Well, these could be close together, which kind of works out, right? So we don't really need a big space here because this is where we would want a bigger space anyway, right? Because the farm buildings don't need to go closer to here. But as a matter of fact, if we're going to have 5 down on this row, we'd be better with the farm buildings a little bit off-centered here. So, yeah, we could just go enough, just a little bit more up in that corner there. And I think that will be pretty good. It'll let us get the road from up top there, and it will, yeah, so somewhere like up here, I think. Is that enough? All right, could probably even push it up a little further. You know what? Let's leave it down even with this one, because then we know we can get a road in up there. All right. So now let's come down to here and see, this is where we can push this one back a little bit more. Yeah, so we'll just level up in that corner a little bit. Vladimir, I just saw your comment on click on the passenger. Yeah, so we'll probably, I want to go a little bit further. So once we get back to checking on things, we will, yeah, we're kind of getting close to those rocks there anyway. I want to go, well, we don't have to jam it up. I'd rather be back a little bit. Yeah, let's just see. We can always delete these. It's not like they cost anything to build them. So then see, what I'm thinking is that we can push this one back. Yeah, that's plenty of room. All right, so that we can start thinking about the farm in there. Can we... Yeah, we can go pretty much. So see, this is where I'm looking. See, I have one green dot. I know it's probably real hard for most of you guys to see, but move it a little bit forward till we have the even number of dots, and then come back this way. Good enough. That should put them, because it's hard to tell with these, with the arrows. Other buildings are a little more accurate. So now, what I'll do is get rid of this one. And I will put a road in here just to make sure we have enough room. And you know what? Yeah, that's fine for now. So I didn't build this other one because we need to get a railroad station in. So when you think about it, if we had the perfect setup, which we don't, we would have 4 of them across here, but I don't think we're going to really... Could we fit another one in? Let me just double check, because I would like to get it in if we could. Make it nice and symmetric, perfect symmetry, and perfect crop haulage. Yeah, you know what? We might be able to get one in there. What is turning me red? It's just level. Yeah, let's see if we can't level this out a little bit more. Road leveling. Oh, road leveling needs the excavator, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, see, it's just a little bit too much in certain places. Shrink it down helps sometimes too. Like, I don't care if it's pretty, but yeah, I think we can get this in here with some fiddling. Yeah, and then let's we don't even need to go too far back. I think it's, with these fields, it's in some ways, we could do building leveling, but we don't have the excavator. But I think it's like this high spot. Now, by the way, notice we're moving it all down because I clicked down here and I haven't let go. So it holds on to its original positioning in a sense. Its original height. All right, let's see what that looks like. I don't know if I made it better or worse, but I did stuff. Yeah, if we... Yeah, all of that in that back corner needs to come down. Excavator is stuck in the gas station. Is it? Well, you tried to warn me about that. Let's go take a look. Oh yeah, bunches of stuff are stuck in the gas station. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, it's because it has fuel. Okay, that's easy enough to fix, even though it's a waste of money. Yeah, see, I don't usually, I guess I left it on auto purchase. See, so if it doesn't have any fuel, they won't get stuck there. They'll just go someplace else or not, or whatever they decide to do. But thank you. Good call, off the rails. Yeah, see, now they're all back there. Now they'll go other places to try to get their fuel, hopefully. But we do need them to go get fuel and get the power built, since they're the ones that are assigned to getting that power done. See, there they go. So they're going to go out to the other fuel stations, which is a bit of a pain for the excavator there, because he takes so long to go down. But at least we freed up that problem. Like I said, thank you. Now, is our bulldozer out of fuel? Because that can happen too. No. All right, let's see if we can get this leveled out a little bit more, or let's try to see how far we're off still. Yeah, it's still a bit too high, that whole area. Yeah, well, good eye for seeing that, and thank you, Radomir, for also trying to point that out to me. Yeah, push this down. I think we got this rock. Oh, we got a rock right there. That's right. I forgot about the rock. But you know what we could do? Yeah, you know what? That rock is going to be a problem, maybe. Sometimes I've seen it where, look at that. Sometimes I've seen it where if it's not a very big rock, you can kind of find a, look at, see how it's flashing green? There you go. See that? Now, can I push it back a little further? No, because it turns red. There it was. See that? Oh, come on. Really? Come on, I saw you flash green. Then the game save had to mess me up. I was too far forward. I don't think I'd get a road in there. Look, now we're having a problem with... Yeah, can I just raise... Okay. Yeah, raise that end up here just a bit. Come on. I just saw you. Oh, there you go. There you go. right? So we got that field in, yeah, so that's good. That was a lot of work for one field, but then what I'll do is come down to here. Let's get rid of this and this, just so it's less construction projects, and then we'll stick a road. Yeah, you know what, I'll probably take you from here and be a little bit crooked, and then out straight, and then we can fit our farm in. You know, we want to try to get it pretty darn close, and we also want to get a rail possibility out here. I know we don't have rail yet, but when we build the farm, I would like to allow for the rail to come out. So we kind of have two options. We either spread these a little bit wider apart and just have it come out straight, or we can come out the side and around, which I would tend to want to have it come out straight, just in this particular circumstance. All right, so let's put a farm in, then we'll go check on the buses. Agro farm. Yeah, well, I guess we could put it. Oh, good. We must have got the excavator back, which is nice. Let's just do a little building leveling so that we're. Yeah, and I think I would do it this way. Or would we? I mean, if we're going to do a train straight out, I guess we should really sort of lay out these over here. Like, make sure that where we put these fields, where we would hit the gap. Like, so in other words, so we have, right now, if we put in this one over here, which I'm going to hold off on for 1 minute, we would have 10 fields. So that means we would need another 4, which if we started a little bit wider over here, just so we can leave a gap in the middle there. And then this one we'll put right next to that one. Yeah, so we're not going to have any problems. I just wanted to make sure, though. Yeah, let's move this over. All right, so then we'll plenty of gaps. So what that's telling me, though, is probably want to put it like right here, and then another one here, and then this one will go here. So I'm thinking of putting the train station here. Now keep in mind, we have to get this road to these farms, so let's make sure we do that. And actually, I'm gonna, now that this is placed, just get rid of this, all of this. And probably put that more right down the middle. Let's go back a little bit, make a nice turn out of it, maybe like this. All right, and then, yeah, you know what, let me delete this back a little bit, because I'm thinking we just do like that number. All right, and then when we hook our farm up, whichever way we decide to do it, we would do it so that the, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we do the farm, and we want to put a gas station down here too. So we'll leave a little extra room. But if we did the farm like right here, and then this guy would go like somewhere like this, and let's use the control for finer tuning. All right, let's make sure that guy will attach. Well, no, let's put down the, again, we're not necessarily going to even build this station, but all right, if I put that guy there, can I get, oops, wrong one. Yeah, it's ugly, but it's attached. Ugly, but attached, right? So whatever food gets dropped off at our farm can get tucked into the silo. And then the other nice thing about this is, oh, that's getting awful close to this. Well, no, we can push this field back. That's exactly why I didn't do that. All right, I know I really want to go check on things, but that looks straight. No, that does though. So we'll just make sure this sticks back a little bit. All right, and then yeah, we won't even put those in. I do want to. I haven't seen anybody try a two-farm solution. I don't, I guess I could see it certainly would increase the number of vehicles that you have. I'm not sure is that any better than just making one farm very efficient? I mean, I could see where it might be. Like, in other words, real estate is not very expensive for us. So it's not like I mean, the flat land is the problem if you're talking about the land. That was a really crooked station. But you know what? I'm going to leave it that way just because it is pointing a little more there. We'll just straighten out our railroads. And I probably turn them coming out this way a little bit anyhow. I don't think we'd ever put two rail lines in, but it's more of a space holder, so we could pick either one and know that the building isn't in the way. And then we do need to get a road out here, so yeah, well, what other infrastructure's in the way? You were lying to me. Again, vehicles really don't have to come in and out of here that much. Let's get our gas station in. Really? Okay, let's do a little leveling. Hopefully we can... you know what we could maybe do is... Can we get the gas station in? Yeah, it doesn't have to be... Yeah, that's fine. And then we can get the road. We'll have a mega 5-point intersection there. Let's have it parallel the tracks pretty nicely. Right? And then eventually, once these roads are built, we could attach more things up. Like we can even get rid of... Yeah, we'll reconnect that up later. Because I don't really want it to be a paved road anyhow. Oop, that's the delete tool. I don't want that. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Just so we have as few constructions to assign. And again, it's not just about me assigning the constructions. It's also, it makes sense from the point of view of like when they come running out here, like less times you have to send your equipment back and forth, like the paver and all that stuff. So good. So we leveled that out pretty well. Let's just get this done since we're so close, or at least done enough that we're working on it and we know the full plan. And that doesn't look very straight. All right, we'll kind of, well, where is this other field? Yeah, we can come kind of closer, I think would be better. Yeah, you know what, let's get, ooh, that was almost more than I intended. Yeah, we'll see if we can't work our way around that with the road. There we go. All right, so now yep, no problem. Sometimes the game fights you when you try to place buildings, but not so much when you try to place. Yeah, you know what? Well, I'm not going to attach this up, but we can, because again, this really is going to be for farm vehicles coming in and out of here, not going back that way. Really, once the vehicles get in here, we'll have trucks going out, but if we get to the trains, then you really won't have any trucks or anything coming in and out of here. So I'll attach that back up to there, but let's just let them build this whole line as one shot, and then we'll, sound fair? All right, so as far as all of that goes, we need to get a road into here. Do we just go from here to there? I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. I would probably make it one big project, which is why I very deliberately didn't attach this guy up the other way. Plus, the road wasn't built yet anyhow. So let's, yeah, we'll stay wide of those railroad tracks maybe a bit. Yeah, if we're going to worry about railroad tracks, we'll worry about them, but there we go. That's a little better. There, so we have a farm planned. So before the episode ends here, or the live stream ends, let's go, and then eventually we can worry about the trains. I wasn't really too worried about getting anybody's hopes up too much. I just didn't want to. That's certainly an upgrade that we could make as opposed to having tons of trucks driving back and forth. So I just wanted to make sure we could do it in the future. So let's go ahead and commit to all that before I do something dumb like buy them by accident. And we might as well do our other connections as well. There. What do you guys think? And I've been completely ignoring comments in my own little design world there for a minute. Hey, Tony. Welcome to the stream. I usually do from 2 to 5. So at this moment, I'm not sure how long ago you asked because I was in my own little design world. Probably another 10 or whatever. I usually try to end it at some point that makes a little bit of logical sense. Little bit of a clean ending, but somewhere right around 5 or slightly after. So there we go. So this is built. This still has 600 days, but we do have some steel. I think it might be, how are we doing on our steel making? Yeah, kind of out of coal. I mean, I'm sort of okay with that, as long as we're making coal. Yeah, I could definitely see where, Dennis, the 2-farm thing could be an interesting approach to it, right? It certainly costs you a little more for build the extra farm, but yeah, I could definitely see where that could be a thing. Oh, yeah, you know what? Good point, Radomir. You know, and I even thought about that because when I built my double farm on like we just, in the last episode or two, we put in all those other farm fields. I thought about that. It would be nice to be able to like just assign all of those. Yeah, so a double farm really wouldn't work, would it? Just because of that limitation there. Let's get rid of this wireframe because it's ugly. And I'm sort of waiting for another load of steel to come out of here. How fast does it look like we're producing it? Well, we are producing it. I don't know. I don't really... I think we want to get this... Let's get this thing built. This guy looks like he's very busy. That's good. This guy has a lot of trucks sitting around. Yeah, doing the iron mine. Now, how are you making out with supplying your own power now that we... Oops, that's not the station. Oh, good. So you have power now? Yeah, you do. So the gas station has power now. Okay, well, that's something else to take care of in a second here. Let's go up and get this guy working on this conveyor here, and this small bus platform, and this, and this. Can you reach that? Yep. So we'll get all this stuff done. So it looks like in the beginning of the next one, well, we'll see. If it's, we still have a few minutes, and it's not like I can't go a few extra. How long do we think this is going to take, though? Now, keep in mind, too, when it comes to our workers and steel workers and all of that, you know, our constructions are taking up a lot of our workers, too. So, you know, when we stop constructing over here so much, it won't be quite so painful. Like, in other words, if we start constructing over here more and less over there, then that will alleviate the worker stress a little bit. All right, so let's get this gas station going. I really don't want to buy too many more cisterns, but I think that is the best thing to do. Yeah, I mean, we might as well just leave this backed up. We're sort of just maxing out what we can do as far as getting things in and out. And look, over a period of time, getting those extra trucks on bitumen seems to have at least, we're running again, right? So that's good. And we're not out of fuel or out of bitumen, so that's also good. Okay, nice. So it's, yeah. At this point, we're actually running fine. Though I don't doubt for a minute we're about to back up with, with fuel, and then we're not going to be running so fine. So, yeah, so I think it's just tough to balance out. It's just tough to balance out our exports and keep this thing running at absolute maximum. But yeah, let's go buy another. I don't really want to mess with that system, and I don't see it as that big a deal if we were to purchase another oil tank here. Yeah, this one's 12 tons. Are we at the point where we can get the... No, that's the biggest. Not that we need the biggest for over here, but yeah, CAS is fine, but it uses more... Yeah, it uses more kilowatts. So for the same amount of hauling, you're just going to pay more. Yeah, so this guy's still the champion for now, which is fine. Then we'll have more than a fleet of them. So you need to come into here when there's no line, and then come all the way over to here. Give yourself some fuel. And drop off that fuel and wait. Good. So we should be, you know, we should have fuel over here now. And what are you guys doing? That's the one I just closed. Yeah, doing footpaths. Doing that unfinished conveyor. Is everything over here going to be ready? Yeah, I believe we have power to here. Yep. So we should be ready to go with this as soon as this is done. No, as soon as this is done. And we only have 400. So let's wait. To answer your question, we will end the episode when we have iron coming into here. Then we'll have episode. I keep saying episode. Well, you know what I mean. Live stream. I guess it is an episode of sorts, but certainly kind of a weird thing to call a live stream. How is our hospital doing? No significant notable difference. And then I was going to come over here and click on a passenger, right? And see what their needs are. So if we come to, if you're going to jump around on me. Food, meat, clothing, prayer. Yeah, see, that's the point. Well, I guess we could put the passengers back on here. And well, let's click on a bunch of them. You know what, I'm going to have to pause it because otherwise it's going to drive me nuts. Food, alcohol, does any of them... electronics, prayer, food. Yeah, none of them seem to be going to the hospital. And let's even see. Let's start time again. Let's even just see if we come over to the workers, because sport, culture, visit doctor. Past demands unsatisfied, visit doctor. So now the question is, 74 years old, but will they get on the bus to go visit the doctor? I don't know how long ago that incident happened. Let's see if we... There's no real way to follow people here like some other games, is there? You know, like SimCity, you can click on a person and hit the eyeball. There's... Oh, yeah, we can. Okay. It's not to tell how often I've done that. I'm just looking for somebody that says visit hospital. Like, as a current demand. I'm not seeing anyone, which is good. Maybe that's, oops. Yeah, I think that's enough of staring at this. It's making me dizzy. Yeah, so maybe they are going there and going to the hospital. I don't know. There goes a student. Seems like a lot of fuel just to take one student over to school. And there are people coming in here, but I'm assuming that's the workers. Well, no, they're treated patients. Yeah, let's see if we get treated patients walking here. Now, there goes an ambulance getting people. It's going to mess up my... Like, I actually just want to see the treated patients go up without the ambulance coming in and out. Yeah, we definitely have two. There we go. So they went and got two patients. Now, one of them had the visit doctor. Look, the ambulance went and got people to go visit doctor, I'm pretty sure. But then again, that's where the problem is when the ambulance goes out. Yeah, you know what? I'm almost wondering if we shouldn't get another ambulance because it's kind of far away. Like, is it... No, it's coming back and sitting there and waiting, so I don't think we have a backup of people needing to visit the doctor. But do we, you know, I still haven't seen anyone visiting the doctor without the ambulance going out. And there are enough houses. See, there goes the ambulance again. Oh, no, that was treated patients. Yeah, they are coming over here. Well, they're either going to come over here on the bus. There's, oh, there it goes. Look. Yep. I don't know. It wouldn't have been a worker, so it would have had to have been a patient going in there. So we did see somebody take the bus. I mean, it was probably quick, but maybe you guys can replay the video if you don't believe me. They did drop someone off, and he went over, or she went over into the hospital. So good. Yeah, so I guess it can't hurt with our population growth to have done that. And like I said, even for future use, I don't mind at all that we have a bus stop there. Just to sort of move people around when things get even more crazy. Yeah. Well, they don't work for free, right? They get clothing and education. But then again, they get the clothing and education. The problem isn't that they find out they work for free. The problem is that when in socialist and communist societies, when you figure out you can just sit on your ass and do nothing and get the same thing, right? It's not that they work for free. It's just that they realize other people are going to be forced to pay for them to sit around and do nothing. That's the issue. Yeah, at one point I did, but I turned them back on. But I turned them off here, which is fine. Like, that's just like waiting. I don't want them coming over here to wait to go get food. Right? So like, if you want, we could put it back on to show you what I mean. Like the needs that they're going to come over here for are going to be like right here. Like why they're going, like there you go. Like, so So he needs food and prayer. Well, I'm not taking you to prayer, and so go get food. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have walked to the food by the time you walked to the station here. So there we go. So yeah, so I'm happy with the way this is flowing. You know, I mean, we could use more people, but I'm sure I've said that 13 times in the last 3 hours. Now we're down to 1176 productive age workers. You know, just if we look at this year, like I mean, there could be a natural swing up and down to it too. So it's, you know, it gets upsetting when it goes down, but then it does go back up. I guess as long as it keeps going back up, but then yeah, our whole population is dipped off too. I don't think, I mean, we could check each building, but none of these should be even close to filled up. And we're doing what we can to get them over to that hospital. And they have, I mean, we could do like a second ambulance. Yeah, and they all just hold one passenger, so I'm not real sure why you don't just build this one, or buy this one, which, yeah, let's get 2 of those. And that's for the sake of it. So that way we never have a person that ever needs to go to the hospital. Right? We have more people over here, so let's just buy another one of these. They're not that expensive. So now we'll have two ambulances. Yeah, look, he's going right out right away. So, and I guess that's not a bad idea. Let's see if he comes back and stays. Yeah. Sometimes if you add another vehicle, you know, there might be a little backlog, but there we go. So that's, yeah, now we're doing, I think, everything I know to do to make the population grow, other than the alcohol thing, but we do have alcohol over here, so. And then again, we have a lot more people over here, too. Now, is that just, did we actually grow the town? I forget, do you guys remember what we were at earlier? 1687 over here. Nah, we definitely have more people in both areas, total population. I know we did bring some people artificially over here, but we only had like 400. Well, I moved some people out. Yeah, I'd be curious to see if the population over... The only real difference is that this one has alcohol. Might be a good time to do an experiment at the beginning of the next live stream and just see... It's really... can't think of anything particular that's happening here that they can't get to over here. Other than the alcohol. So if this one's not growing as fast, it might be because of the alcohol. Who knows? Okay, good. We got this bus stop done. We can get... you're already working on all the footpaths. Yeah, I guess I'll assign you to this. I'm not sure. Let's go assign this guy to that as well, because he's not doing anything anymore. So what can we get him to do? I mean, there's no real point in building more houses. We got our bus stop going. We don't need this because we're not really supplying anything at this moment. Yeah, so I guess, I mean, you might as well go help them with this road. I mean, at some point when we have more steel, we could talk about building more of this, or more money. So what are we doing here? Did we get... Yep, this is done. So yeah, the only thing we're waiting on now is 200 and some more days of working over here, and then we're just not going to have nearly enough people coming up here to actually work, but that's sort of a different issue, I guess, for, yeah, people. Good night, Off the Rails. Thanks for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming as we wind down here slowly. Go let the dogs out off the rails. Yeah, well, if you think about it, by the way, like a lot of games are socialist in that respect. Our game of Banished, like, there's no money in that game at all, and just quite like Sim City. I don't, not Sim. Boy, you tell how old I am. Well, I guess they've made newer versions of Sim City, but City Skylines, I don't think people make any money there, right? I mean, I think it's pretty common that you have more or less a socialist workforce that you just need to kind of keep happy in theory. The just sort of plugs away for us over here, doesn't it? I'm not sure what you mean, because you were probably reacting to something I said that I even forget I said. But Nanatan is just Nanatan. They are doing kind of well. Only one educated person here. Why is that? Yeah, that's... Oh, because they're all university. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind. Yeah, I think we're doing, reasonably well. We could probably consider... Nah, we're back to producing. Whatever we did, switching some of those bitumen trucks, we are stagnating at times, but if we're not totally full on oil, then that means we are stopped right now, but we're still not full of oil, right? Like as long as we're processing all of the oil that we're getting in, the problem is we're not getting all the oil in because we got a backup here. Does that make sense? Like, in other words, we could get more oil in if we didn't have a truck backup. And I have a feeling that part of that truck backup, when you think about it, is we could put all of those trucks going to the border and it takes them a lot longer round trip. We could get rid of this backup by just building these things here, like the oil pumps and the pipes, and not even worry about the tanks. I mean, the tanks would be great to have, but really, these oil trucks are coming back and forth, back and forth. They represent a lot of trips compared to one long trip. Does that make sense? These guys are, I think there's two at each one, so they represent a lot more trips into this thing than the ones going up to the border. Thank you, G Swedish. Thank you, Dennis. Oh, good night. Is that Radomir saying good night? I don't know. I'm confused. Fire extinguished. Well, that's a good thing. Where? Right near me. Could have caught my chin whiskers on fire. Yeah, we also have a... Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. Well, I know what it was. We only have one parking space here, so putting this in means that you can stop this bitumen truck from running back and forth forever. Which, to be honest, let's stop that bitumen truck from running back and forth forever. So if we ever get construction going here, we'll forget that and hopefully remember eventually that we're not producing asphalt. Oh, we got another asphalt project. That's right. Let's get this guy. Building that one. And then, are we almost done? 162. There we go. 28 more people. Get to work. So might as well get a bus. Well, we have 2 buses coming up to here. How many go into here? Only 15. So, yeah, I'm thinking we just take this and assign it to go to there for now. and just get its own separate bus, even though in the future we'll get a bigger bus than we need maybe and send some of, well, why don't we do that? Talk myself right into it. Why don't we send half and half for the moment? Let's go see what size bus we get. I don't think the bus needs to be particularly fast, and it should probably be the same kind of bus that we're using. Yeah, why don't we stay with this one so that they don't have different speeds, so that there's at least some slight chance that they'll be even in how they drive up here and back. So we want to go from here to here. And I'm not sure if this makes a difference, but you know what? Let's get rid of this one. No. Sorry. I think it's, I'm wondering, oops. Yeah, small bus platform here to here. Like, it's weird the way they do these percentages sometimes. But if we send 20% of the bus up to there, and then the other 76% to the steel mill, and then we'll need to get another bus for the coal. What are the chances of us having enough people? Not very good. And you're going to come from here and just go directly. Oh, building is not finished. Okay, well, we have the bus anyway. Good, 61 work days. Yeah, so I'll hang out until we actually see some iron flowing down the pipes. That'll be a nice place to call it quits, I think. And then next episode, we could talk about the farm, I think would be a possible priority. Certainly cut down on the, getting the bakery going would be real good. Certainly getting meat going wouldn't be a bad thing. And then, we'd also have the possibility here of the coal mines and of course, our oil, getting that topped out at efficiency. Now, I'm not sure. Is it better to top this out at efficiency or cut down on our biggest bill, which is the food? So if we go to last month imports, iron 12,000, well, really 13,000, food 10,600, 700. Plus, don't forget, part of doing the food really would be getting closer to doing meat as well. And that would really be, if you added those two together, 15,000, more, pretty close to that. So getting food and meat off of our monthly bills would certainly help us. Now, those two aren't very good to export, so that's something else to keep in mind. If we got another good export, that could certainly help pay for the food and whatnot. And steel, while it would be a wonderful export for us, is not going to be the best. And we're not going to export much steel. Let's just be honest. We're going to keep building and building and building. There we go. We have an iron mine. So let's go ahead and get this bus and tell him to go to here. We might as well get this one started first, I think. Hopefully he'll get some actual people. And the other bus, and we can start him. Now we got a little bus traffic jam going still. Yeah, we do need more people, if I haven't mentioned that enough times. Well, let's see. Eventually, yeah, we can leave the construction go for a minute. We'll sign things in the beginning of the next one. There we go. So we'll just make sure all this works. I don't see why it wouldn't, but 63%. That's a pretty good source of iron. There we go. So we have iron going into our processing. And we didn't get any. Oh, we got one worker. So we got iron being produced. And we are burning it up. as fast as we can produce it. Is it getting in there? I don't really even see it getting in there, but yeah, why is it not getting in there? Yeah, that's okay. Why doesn't it require the building is without power supply? Yeah, well, that's a bit of a bummer. Yeah. Let me just take a look. Did I just not think of that, I guess? Yeah, it's really. I mean, do we build another one up here, or do we build another one? I mean, I guess we'd be better off building one that would. I don't want to build it right here because we might put railroad tracks, but I mean, I guess putting it. I'm just thinking it could cover part of the city, right? Like if we built more. Well, we're not going to really build more houses over here. There's no real reason at this point to knock that other one down. So I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, it won't be hard to get one from over there. It's just sort of a shame that we just didn't cover that with power. And I say we just get this guy in here and, yeah, I don't think there's any particular, we're just going to have like a boatload of, now the other thing we could do is I could just put it next to this one where we make sure it reached everything. Right, like that reaches everything right there. And then we could disconnect this. Right, and then just purchase it. Demolish the road. Give me a dirt road. Probably could have purchased this first. So there we go. And then we might as well just demolish this one. And then very carefully, yep, get rid of that. You still have power. Yep, cannot export ore. You have power now. Yes, operating without issues. So that was a little bit costly, but not too bad. And to be honest, that was we got it going. Gee, Swedish, I don't think it's stupid to start building parking lots, other than I don't really plan on, at this moment, buying cars, but certainly, you know, like I put a cargo station here that I didn't intend to use as a space holder. So I think that keeping in mind where you would build the parking lots is smart, right? Even if you didn't actually build them, like if you just left them there for future construction. See you later, Red Fox. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm going to be wrapping up here very shortly, but let's see if we're now, how we're doing with this. So yeah, no, I don't think it's dumb to, I think we could start thinking about that anyway. Now, I mean, again, I really haven't personally figured out the best way to use the cars. Like, in other words, would it be good to put cars in for what exact purpose are they the most efficient? And it's not to say they aren't the most efficient in certain circumstances. I just don't know those. Like, would it be good to put a parking lot here so they could drive up rather than having a bus bringing people to here? It certainly seems like it might even be worth it. But then again, the cars are so, I mean, I know they're not that expensive, but they are expensive relative to just a bus at that point. So, but again, if they do a better job, then it might be worth getting a parking lot here that at least some of these people could go to the parking lot and and then just come up to certain tasks like the firehouse and that. But I haven't really experimented with it enough. Foxy Cool, you missed the whole episode. And now I'm going to say goodbye to you. There we go, though, guys. We are making steel, and it shouldn't be costing us too much. At least when it comes to having people, you know, it's not a perfect system, but it's certainly not free, but we're certainly getting steel at a much lower cost than we were before, and that'll really open up. You know, I think you're going to see our money going up a fair amount quicker now. Let's go to this month in this case, especially because it's the end of the month. If you look, we're just not at 12,000. We just killed that iron spending at this point, even though we did start purchasing a little bit of coal. So hopefully one of these decades we can get our workers. And look, now we're up to 1208. So yeah, so hopefully we'll just see our number of people going up at some point here, because it's just going to become an issue if it's not already. All right, guys. Well, if there's any last minute comments, let me pause it, and we'll save it right here. I think I forgot to save it as at the end of the last episode, but then you can come right. You'll know when we come back, we're pretty much at the same exact spot. So live stream after 13. That's add to her. All right, so this is right where we'll come back to, and we can decide on things like the farm and, you know, whatever else you guys want to decide on at that point. See you, Mike. Thanks for your comments, and thanks for being here. Everybody, you know, I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, Radomir, I definitely think it could be a good use for cars. I just don't understand them well enough to understand if it justifies. It's, you know, we're not going to be able to manufacture cars too easily, too quickly. Though we could import things like fabric, and I mean, now that we have steel, that's one of the bigger expenses. You know, there's no reason we couldn't go up to cars now. Do we really have the people for something like cars? I think our next industries, we should try to probably focus on, you know, things that are just obviously very profitable and hopefully don't need that many people to do. And certainly the farms are pretty profitable in the sense of, you know, that's one of our biggest expenses. And plus you don't need any people for the farm itself, and then with relatively few people, you can get a bakery going and at least producing some food. And same thing, the livestock doesn't take overly many people. But maybe there's, you know, a way to go. Like the power is a good thing to produce too, because you really don't need that many people to run a power plant. Thank you, Steve. Yes, I hope you guys enjoy your evening or night, whatever applies to where you live. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye. And again, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you. I don't know if you realize it, Radomir made a couple comments here or there, but got up to about 600 subs, unless somebody quit. I don't know. Every once in a while I lose one or two. When you get up to 600, I'd hate to announce it, and if I go back and look, it's down to 598 or something. But it was at 600 at one point today. So thank you guys very much for subbing. If you liked it, it does add to the number of people, and I guess you get notifications and are more likely to watch the videos, which is good. So thanks for that. So take care of yourselves and have a good night. Bye bye. Thanks, G Swedish, by the way.